Okay, we're coming in, guys. Hey, we're here. All right, so we are set up and ready for our next game, in which I actually get to play. So I'm pretty excited. I have an amazing group of human beings with me to play Mouse Guard, and including the Mouse Guard expert himself. The reason we're here today is to raise money for Trans Lifeline. Trans Lifeline is an amazing trans-run charity that provides microgrants to folks going through transition, and it also provides a crisis line that is staffed by members of the trans community for members of the trans community. So when you donate, you know exactly where your money's going and what services are being provided. And for us, that's incredibly important, as our community is an inclusion, equity, and education-based community. And so we want to be able to share those values with those charities we support. And we think we've hit hit it right on the nose with Trans Lifeline. So if you'd like to share with us our support for Trans Lifeline, please consider donating today by clicking on that cherry red donate button below. That is the best way, because that money will go straight to them. We love your bits, we love your subs, but it'll take longer for the money to get there through that. So please hit the donate button if you want to help us in our drive to support Trans Lifeline. And with that, I'm going to throw it over to Four for introductions.
I unmuted myself. That means I'm ready to go, everybody. Hi, I'm Four. I am here to introduce you to the fantastic world of Mouse Guard. It's this book right here. You see what that mouse is doing? That's going to be you. Maybe. Because sometimes in Mouse Guard, problems are better solved with things that are not sharp and pointy. But you can use your wit. I will allow you to use that. In any case, let's get down to business. What is this game by David Peterson and Luke Crane? Well, David Peterson is an amazing comic artist. He publishes the Mouse Guard comic books. You should read those. Also, it's all about little mice. Abby, thank you for being my point.
I feel like you're hype man right now. Like I'm just behind you, like little mice, little mice, big world,
big mice. Oh man, so you're these little mice that can talk, they can think, they can craft armor, they can make windmills, they can do all sorts of technological, medievally super cool stuff. Here's the problem. They're still mice. And that means everything is out to get them. Quite literally, even the weather can cause such a catastrophic predicament for certain settlements of mice that it was quite impossible for them to rise up and take charge of their own lives. Until that is when the Mouse Guard came onto the scene. The Mouse Guard is a faction of dutiful and I would say incredibly brave mice that their job is to bring order to the territories. And to do that, they recruit mice from far and wide, train them up to be exquisite rangers, scientists, and warriors, and just do good works throughout the mouse territories. Of course, there is always a few points in history where they have to go to war with weasels or fight giant crabs because they live near a beach, or even deal with the summer rains that might flood out the nearby river. But we'll find out what is in store for our mice in just a moment. I'm going to just go ahead and leap into this game. We'll sort of ease you guys in because I know who here has played Mouse Guard before? You spoiled fuzzies.
Can we introduce the players?
Yes. Why? Okay. Why? Yes, we shall. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh no, I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't know if we were going to, and I'm getting a little.
No, this is probably the best
okay.
time to introduce people.
Okay.
Before we introduce their mice.
Okay. You can do it or I can do it. I'm a little punchy right now. I've been up for 28 hours, so if I see...
I actually just now realized you're probably very tired.
I'm a little tired, yeah.
Abby, help dear Throck out. Give us the lead.
Okay, well, one, I would like to apologize, and also, yes, because an opening up, and immediately on chat, I was like, hey, Throck, hey, Mouse Guard. There's a spot open. So I'm super, super excited about this. I love this charity. I love this cause. It's something very near and dear to my heart. So please hit those donation buttons. Like, super, super good for visibility. Anyway, my name is Abby, also known as Abigator Frenzy. You can find me on Twitter. Today, I'm going to be playing a tiny mouse named Willow. A tiny mouse named Willow who likes to explore and is kind of like a loudmouth and very like, and really likes to talk to animals.
I like that one of your defining traits is. Let's move forward to Throck. Do you want to introduce yourself as well?
Yes, hello. I am Throck Plays. I am one of the co-founders here at Welcome to the Party. You can find me on the Twitters at Throck Plays, and I've been up for a very long time. But today I shall be playing Aegis. Aegis is an elderly mouse, a gray mouse. He is a patrol guard scout who has been with the Mouse Guard for quite some time and is very excited to be meeting this new young group of mice, and is very excited to be supporting this charity. Yes.
Meadowhawk, would you like to go next?
Sure. So I'm Anna. You can find me on Twitter at __ ephemeroptera, and I will be playing for my very first time. So I'm excited to play a game I've never played, and my character's name is Meadowhawk. I am a very small mouse, black fur and a black cloak. My parents raised me learning the skill of insectry. I don't know, but basically what?
What is the PhD for insectrist?
Insectress
We shall find out. Maybe.
But either way, I'm hoping that I'm allowed to fly around on dragonflies and know things about all of the giant insects around me.
That's pretty great.
I don't know if that's allowed.
There are many. Mouse Guard is a magical place. That's all.
Awesome. Okay.
G4 Gaming.
So hi everybody, my name is Jillian. I'm known as G for Gaming X on Twitter and G for Gaming 1 on Twitch. This is also my first time playing Mouse Guard, and I am extremely nervous, but I'm excited. I can't wait for this. And today I will be playing Cedar, a guard mouse, a gray mouse with a cloak, who has a bit more expertise in a lot of armor. So if you have broken armor and need it repaired, I'm your mouse.
Most excellent. And His Majesty, Jasper.
Hey, I'm Freddie. I'm at His Majesty on Twitter. I will be playing Jasper, who is a patrol guard, who is a slate gray mouse with a violet cape. And he enjoys nocturnal walks in the brambles and quiet patrols, and he carries a halberd with broken glass as blades.
Cool.
That's cool. And This is Zoe. She's going to be in my lap for the entire game because I was at work. And now I'm home. She said, "You should be petting me."
Stream kitty.
So yes. All right. Let us begin. Just trust that I will teach you the game as we progress. But let's start with a little narrative standpoint and get you guys into your mouse costumes. Did everybody bring their mouse costumes?
Damn it! You didn't tell me.
Well, anyways, so it is the season of summer in the year 1154. All of you are in Lockhaven. Within this citadel, this fortress in the Mouse territories, you are waiting. You have been waiting for the better part of the year. You have served in Lockhaven for various bits and pieces. Some of you perhaps performing your trade like armory in the Lockhaven Forge. Some of you probably are only on brief patrols here and there around the surrounding region. But I believe that all of you are waiting for a higher purpose. And that higher purpose comes from the matriarch of the Mouse Guard, Gwendolyn. Now, the lot of you eventually get a tender paw, which are the new recruits who are ready to go out into the world and basically be a hero, because all tender paws want to prove themselves and earn that cloak of Lockhaven make. All guards mice have a very special waterproof cloak with various pockets and all sorts of other stuff that you earn upon graduation from Tenderpaw. This Tenderpaw that runs out to each of you to sort of hand off this note. They've been told where to find you and who you are, and it is a summons, a brief letter telling you to report to Gwendolyn's office in the center of Lockhaven, sort of on a peak tower. And I imagine, who among you would like to arrive first? Which one among you is likely to be like, yes, absolutely, I'm on the case?
I think I would get there early. Jasper does not like being in Lockhaven. He wants to be out in the wilds.
All right, I love that. So you'll depart quickly, going, because you've been cooped up in Lockhaven all season. What is going on? And so you arrive early. The door to Gwendolyn's office is open to you. And inside, you see a large table. And this table is sort of covered in a large map of the territories. This map details all sorts of different pathways and patrols that are out and about doing various duties, like delivering mail or various other things amongst the settlements that, although they rely on the guard, they do not submit to the guard. Each settlement has its own laws, government, and even its own protection. But the wilds is where the guard usually resides. Lockhaven is the home of the Mouse Guard, and that is where they operate, but they belong out on missions, making sure mice are safe and happy. And then let's go ahead and have you tell us your character's belief and instinct. I want to know what really drives your character in the Guard, and that is what a belief is meant to be. It's something that can be summed up in sort of one or two sentences that describes pretty much, if you ever are like, how would my character react in this situation? That is what you turn to for, help.
Yeah, my belief, which I pretty much already touched on, the place for the guard is in the wild, not in Lockhaven.
Like that. Okay. And what is your instinct?
My instinct is I stay watchful and placid in peace. That way the beast is well rested when he needs to come out.
That's
Oh, shit.
interesting. Okay. And for the moment, Gwendolyn silently gestures to a seat waiting for you to assemble, essentially. She's obviously forming a patrol. And then I think the rest of you can file in here and there. You'll take note of each other, especially the Tenderpaw, because that will likely be your charge, both ensuring the Tenderpaw is safe, but also that they learn something by the end of this mission. Let's go ahead and have everyone run through their belief and instinct for us. And let's go ahead and start next with... Yeah, let's go. I want to hear the Tenderpaw. I want to hear Meadowhawk.
Okay, so since I am really trying to become a member of the Mouse Guard, I feel very strongly about proving myself. So my instinct is to be the one who takes the first move or takes the chances, even though I might be smaller and less experienced. I have that I want to prove myself instinct, and my belief is I want to protect those who cannot protect themselves.
That's
so
precious.
Yeah, in ways that, like, based on from my background, in ways that I wasn't able to in my past, help people that I cared about. I want to be able to do that now and kind of make up for that.
I love that. All right. And let's go to the person whose heart you just broke, Willow.
I love tender paws, especially tender paws who are like, I'm here to do good and get the job done, and I'm ready. So I kind of had I didn't talk this over with Throck. I kind of had this idea that Willow just got out of tender paw stage to be a guard mouse.
You graduated last winter?
I graduated last winter, and my I guess my patrol guard who was watching over me was, I don't even know how to pronounce
Agus? Honest?
Okay.
Honest. Aegis. His name is Aegis.
Aegis. My name is Aegis. Sorry, I was tweeting.
It's all good. Trust me, it's all good. Aegis, are you okay with being my past patrol guard when I was
mentor?
like a
yes, I would. I would cherish the opportunity to show you the wilds.
Because I'm a guard mouse, but I feel like
that's amazing.
I probably meet up with him at some point. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to Gwendolyn's office. This is my first patrol. Aegis. So Willow's belief is, where is Willow's belief? To sing every time. No, the law and actions of nature outweighs the law and actions of the law.
Ooh, okay.
Willow is a firm believer of everybody at their core is just follows their nature and that instinct to survive.
Okay.
And that's what leads everybody. And my instinct is when encountering an aggressive animal, I'll always try to talk before fighting.
That's right, because some animals have their own language that mice can chit-chat with. Let's go ahead and move to Cedar. Oh my god.
Just for the record. Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, I was just going to make fun of Four because in our Sunday game, he calls my character, who's obviously some form of Nordic, Bjorni, Bjorni all the time. Bjorni all the time. Okay, sorry. Simple words. Fly by him, and we love him anyways.
Continue. Give us your belief. What do you believe? And your instinct. What do you do when the moment arises?
Okay. So my belief is that everything has its place in the world, and it is not my place to change what has already been put in place. And my instinct is, if I see a tear in any armor, I use my talents and teachings to repair to the best of my ability.
Perfect. All right. And let's go to our senior member.
Yes.
Tell us about Aegis.
Yes, well, good. I just wrote his belief and instinct, so I'm very excited to share them with you. My belief is help the young ones gain the wisdom of the wild. And my instinct is when too much trouble comes your way, hide in the tall grass.
Oops, I love him.
Okay. So Gwendolyn looks up to all of you and says, "Good morning. So, suppose you're all ready to depart? Go out into the wilds of summer?"
If needs must, yes.
Yes, needs are very must. Because, as you might imagine, there's a lot to do in summer, considering how bleak spring was. And we're hoping to ensure that each settlements have very tender and stable futures ahead of them. Now, this of course means sometimes the god has to pursue the concerns of the settlements and what is important to them. Because, as you might imagine, some settlements have different priorities than others. So I would like all of you to go south to Willowroot and report to a fellow gods mice there who is stationed. His name is Elswin. And from there, I would like you to coordinate efforts to ensure that whatever problem is plaguing them, which I imagine is something that cannot be solved with only one very capable patrol guard, do your best to resolve the issue. Along the way, I would like you to ensure that the road to Willowroot and the settlements around it are secure and not blocked by any goings-on. We have had some rains that might have caused a few issues the past few days. But I believe that's all, unless you have questions.
Have any of the patrol mice found trouble along the road or reported any trouble?
Besides the usual animals that come out in the summer, I don't believe so. Fortunately, the southern ends of the territories do not get as much attention as the rest. But we do believe they should not be too much trouble for a patrol of your size.
Good.
And is there anybody else?
So when you talk,
Oh no,
go ahead,
go for it.
Jasper. You sure?
Yes, please.
Oh, I was just about to say, like, when you say trouble, in Willowfort, are you talking about like fighting trouble, like they've got like a big bad predator that we gotta fight? Or are you talking like we need to like talk to them and have them like talk things over kind of trouble?
That is... She swallows and turns to boiling a teapot that she has next to her table where she's seated, and gently pours out some dandelion tea for herself and folds her arms in front of her and says, "Very well. I'd like to forestall this as best I can." And she offers tea to each of you if you'd like.
It's the dandelion tea. I've heard all about this.
This soothes sore throats, all sorts of things. Grants patience. And she says, Willowroot has not a lot going for it. It's one of the smaller towns, especially in that region. But we consider it a valuable post in the southern region of the territories. Fortunately, this means it's prone to rampaging populations of wild animals that prefer not to get involved in some of the operations that Willowroot likes to get itself into. It's a very good farming community. Hay and barley, trying to at least become a powerhouse in that department. Of course, if the animals are more wild and also a bit more boisterous, they might have different demands. I expect this will be an animal problem, more than a mouse problem, unless you make it one.
Okay.
Right. So, anything else? If not, you are dismissed with the utmost caution with your newest tenderpaw. And she gestures and says, Aegis, I see you've done a very good job with Willow. I would like
Yes,
you to take Meadowhawk under your tutelage. But I want all of you to contribute to anything that they might learn in the course of this mission. It's very important that we keep our expectations very high, but reasonable enough so that you don't scare her away just before she gets a cloak.
I am sure she will be quite able. She has the steely eye of a god mouse already.
And with that, you're dismissed. Right. So, here's what we gotta do. You guys have to get from Lockhaven all the way down to Willowroot. That is no easy task. Do you know why? Because you have to roll dice for it. That's right. We can finally get to the rolling dice portion of this game. Whoa! So, who here can look at their character sheet and tell me if you have Pathfinder.
I do.
Okay. And here's how we're going to teach you guys how to roll. Every number in a skill, the rating is like the number of dice that you're going to roll. So if you have 2 dice in a skill, that usually means you're going to roll 2. Wait, I just said 2 dice. If you have a 2 in a skill, then it's going to be 2 dice, as so on and so forth. Sometimes you can earn conditions if you fail a test that will reduce certain dice in certain situations. But generally, that's how you're going to. This is how the mechanic works. You collect all the dice you can, and then you roll it and try to get as many successes as you can. Successes are 4s, 5s, and 6s. Now then, failures are 1, 2, and 3. That's not good. We don't want 1, 2s, and 3s. So we want the highest number of possible successes we want. There are several ways to do that, but for now, let's just go ahead and find out who has the highest Pathfinder. You have 2, you have 3, you have 3, you have 2, you have 3. So, out of the Tender Paw and the 2, whoa! Guards my
Sorry.
Look out! Is who among you would like to step up and say, I will lead us to Willowroot?
It would be my character's nature, but I don't know if it's the best for the Tinder Paw to take lead right now.
I think it would be best for you to take lead. What better way to learn? Yes, of course. This is a
Yes,
brilliant
don't worry,
idea.
we'll be behind you.
So, guess what?
Okay.
This is a long trip. It's going to take several days, and there's a possibility that the roads are actually really, really bad, and you might lose them, and you might get lost in the wild, in someone's backyard, because if you look outside, your mouse is like not even bigger than a blade of grass. That's scary. So, here's what I want from you. Who here thinks one of their skills can help with this Pathfinder check? Because the obstacle is going to be 5. That means you have to get 5 successes, Anna. So you can certainly help with Pathfinder, but because, as you can see, everybody has Pathfinder, I'm only going to allow 1 person to help with the same skill. This is how you want to start with these roles. You want to look at everyone and say, how can we help each other? Because we're in this desperate situation. You have to coordinate. You have to describe how your character is helping. You can't just say, I help with Scout. I help with Healer. How do you help with Healer? She's walking on a road. See, this is how you try to use your role play of your character to sort of give mechanical benefits. Sometimes this makes for very lovely arguments between certain skills, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So Abby, stop. Stop.
So I can provide a pretty good example for this one, I think. Miss Meadowhawk, I am quite an accomplished scout. If you tell me the direction you would like us to go, I can start moving ahead and let you know if there are any difficulties.
Well, I believe he said south. Would you like a more obvious direction, or just a like that way?
You ought to choose the path, and
Okay.
I shall tell you whether it is safe.
Okay, so how many paths are before us?
Generally, you have 2. You could go down to you could make stops at certain towns and go from there to here and so forth. But I also think that you could also just take a longer road, because there are roads out of Lockhaven that go in a general direction. But the further you get from Lockhaven, the more chance there is that there simply is not like a well-regulated road. So you might have to hoof it through wild territory. Because remember, this map was made in 1150, the map you guys are looking at. So not all those roads might still be there. You guys might have to actually make a new road, and that is what Pathfinder is for.
Okay.
So he can sort of scout wherever you want, And that'll give you like a +1 on your dice roll. So right now you have 4 dice. So who else would like to help? And not everybody has to help.
I'm assuming that Weather Watcher might come in handy here because we've had rains, and if I could tell if a place is going to be muddy because of the weather.
Okay, I want to do something with you specifically because Weather Watcher, I will allow Weather Watcher to help, but in a different way.
Okay.
Weather Watcher is a very powerful skill. Do you know what you can do with Weather Watcher?
Watch the weather.
And yell at it. You can yell at me, the game master, and say, "It's not gonna rain. It's gonna be a beautiful day." Yeah, that is.
I can just imagine Jasper just yelling at the sky. He's like, "You're not gonna rain today.
And the sky
It's not going to happen." Ah!
Yes, this is exactly how it's gonna happen. So here's the thing. You can do this, and I will reduce the obstacle by 1 because that's agreeable. I think that'll be a nice way to start this roll off. But here's the problem: if you fail, I can invoke a twist, and this is another way I can sort of make the story take interesting directions. If you succeed, you basically get what you want, and the story continues forward without any harm on your part, usually. If you fail, I could give you a condition, or I could invoke a twist, which something complicates this matter. There's a new obstacle in your path. I could possibly target your equipment, but we'll have to wait and see. So you're going to roll against summer. You're literally rolling against the season of summer. What is your Weather Watcher?
4.
I think summer is 4 as well. So, unfortunately, we're taking a deviation away from the Pathfinder test for the closest thing to magic in Mouse Guard. Tell me this. What are Jasper's traits?
Traits?
Mm-hmm.
It's a roll within a roll.
Deep ear and nocturnal.
Okay. Traits can be used to both aid and harm. So you can take a dice and put it in. You can add a dice, or you can subtract a dice, depending on how you use your traits. Once per session, you can use a trait to give you one die. So you can say, my character is so this. They are so generous. They are so steady pawed. My cat almost fell. They are so clumsy.
Oh no, cat attack!
Exactly. So cat, oh my lord. Actually, you could also use it for the opposite effect. My cat is so clumsy that they're going to get a -1 to this roll. So you might ask, why would I want to do a -1 to my check? Because guess what? Mouse Guard is played in 2 different turns. Right now, we are in the GM's turn. So the only thing you really need to know is that I am telling you what is going to happen in the story. I'm going to tell you what obstacles you have to triumph over. In the player's turn, each of you has 1 chance to tell us what happens in your character's story. So we call those player's checks. You can use a trait against yourself to get another check for the player's turn. Doesn't matter if you fail or succeed, but you get that check, and that's another opportunity to continue your character's story in whatever way you want. It also can be used to recover from conditions. So, Jasper, you want to roll against summer to basically say, it's going to be good weather. I think the nocturnal trait is perfect for this because you might know, oh, well, there's perfect cover over here, or oh, not the evening is a perfect time for travel because it's going to be cooler for us to find the trail and stuff. So if you like, you can roll 5 dice if you spend that nocturnal trait to help yourself. Do you want to do that or save it for later?
Well, I can only do that action once per game, right?
That's true.
I would like to save it.
You can subtract as much as you want.
I I'm imagining that using Nocturnal as a subtract is going to be hilarious. So I can't wait to do that. But yeah, I think I'm going to save that for now.
All right. Now I'm just taking as many opportunities as I can to sort of expose all of you to
it's great.
This initially like sort of confusing system, because most people are used to D20 and stuff, but this is just going to be a 4 versus 4. Go ahead and
with 4.
With 4.
Okay, so this is a roll 4d6.
Yes, 4d6. And let's go ahead and just
2 successes, 1 failure.
Well, it's 2 failures, 1 success.
No. Oh
shit.
No.
Ooh, okay, here's
Fucking
another
serious.
thing. Okay, you have not lost yet. I got 3 successes, even though I messed up the greater than over then. I got 3 successes. You got 2. Here's the thing, though. Both of those are 6s. Each of you had, guess what? Another opportunity for me to tell you the rules. Guess what? You can spend a fate point. Each of you has 1. I'm going to give each of you 2 fate points, because I think for the purpose of like showing you how this works, each of you should have 2 fate points, because those are, honestly, fate points they're really crunchy. Like, they're like crackers that you get for doing good things. Fate points can be spent to explode in any 6s that you roll. So if you want, you can spend a fate point to explode those 2 6s and hopefully get 2 more successes.
Okay, so roll 2 more dice.
So you'll just...
I am going to do that.
Okay. And if you get another 6, you also get to explode that one.
Exploding dice.
Nice.
Explode that 6.
Okay, so you might succeed here. You gotta explode that last 6, though.
Oof.
Nice.
How about that?
Okay, perfect. Well done. Well done.
Well
right.
done.
So here's what I was thinking. I was thinking that because Gwendolyn mentioned the summer rains, I was thinking I was gonna hit you guys with like a torrential downfall, and you guys would have to like stop. You would have to like try to survive a flood, basically. Like there's gonna be a flash flood. What do you want the weather to be like instead?
So Jasper has a glass, kind of like a looking glass that he looks through when he weather watches, so it protects his eyes. And he sees the kind of rolling in storm clouds deep in the horizon, and just like kind of takes on a Mary Poppins air and just says, "No, I don't think so. You're going to turn around right now."
Okay.
Love that.
Okay. To be honest, only mechanically is this magic. But maybe you want to like look as though you're like this mysterious like wild mouse who can control the weather with a
Well,
rain.
I think that he thinks of it that way.
This is great. Okay.
But yeah, I figured we would go. I'd be able to tell that a different path is going to be best for avoiding floods.
So you guys know to avoid any rivers or streams that, although they are good landmarks for which path you're going and what direction you're heading, they are not going to be safe. But thankfully, you guys might be able to make this. So the obstacle is now 4. We are back to the Pathfinder test.
Yay!
Okay. Learning the game is fun. So we already have 1 scout dice from good old ages. You've already done a roll to help this test. We would call these linked tests in Mouse Guard. We are doing several rolls to achieve 1 goal: get to Willowroot without suffering horribly. Speaking of Willow, what do you do?
Nobody else has used Pathfinder yet to help, correct?
No.
Okay,
Yeah. Oh, to help. Yeah.
I'll probably just use Pathfinder. I'll save another skill for later.
Okay. So how are you helping point out which trail is likely the one that you should follow, or how are you forging a path?
I'm imagining Willow, who is probably not that much older than Meadow, is like trailing behind her, being like, "Yeah, you see that? See what's they just told me that like when you see that, that's a sign of this. But you've got this. I'm here and I'm gonna let you do your own thing." But then she keeps coming. But did you see like right here?
It's like a fourth grader is trying to lead a kindergartner to like the lunch hall.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then we come to, oh God, please.
Cedar, like the tree.
Cedar.
Like the tree.
Bajorni.
I'm the mother freaking tree! Why do you do this?
Sorry.
I'm a tree! Don't disrespect the tree!
Seesaw. How do you want to help with this?
Thank you, Sugar, for the 1,000 bits for a major advantage to me.
I could probably help with survivalist.
Yeah, that's perfect. Survivalist is all about finding water, making fire, and also finding the right cover for the night so that you aren't discovered, and jury rigging just basically anything you need. So it's actually very good because you guys are going to spend many days out here. You want to make sure you're doing it in comfort. Like you don't want to wake up one day being like, oh no, we slept in a swamp. And now we're mouse deep in mud. Let's go ahead and say you have 1, 2, 3 dice. You got 6 dice for this Pathfinder check, Anna. And obstacle is 4, thanks to the sky screaming of Jasper.
Go away, Storm!
Do you have any traits you might want to use for this?
Me?
Or do you want to say, you could either use them to help you or to harm you, and you get a player's check if you do that.
So I have Survivalist, Scout, and Pathfinder.
Those are skills, actually.
Oh, sorry.
I think your traits are a little further up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I am fearless, determined, and nimble.
Wow. I think all of those fit.
2 and nimble. I don't know if that would.
2, that lets you use it twice to help you in a session.
So I guess I should use it one at a time at least.
All right.
What about fearless then?
I think fearless would also help because this is sort of your first mission, your first foray into the wilds of the territories.
Nothing bad has happened yet, so I'm not scared.
So I think any of those is suitable in this instance. Just make sure you note which one you use because they do take that tick.
Yes, so in the used 4, I clicked that. Okay. And that adds
1d6.
So we're at a total of 5 now?
I think you're at a total of 7 because you got 3 helping dice. You have 3 in Pathfinder, and you just helped yourself with your trait.
Okay, so am I ready to roll?
I believe we all are ready to roll.
Let's roll.
Oh.
2 successes.
That's a lot of ones.
Yeah.
And you got halfway there. Unfortunately, not enough successes.
Isn't there some way to reroll ones?
There is a way to reroll all failures, but it's very specific.
Oh.
What is your wise, Anna?
It is, since we changed to Tinderpaw's, Code of the Mouse Guard, I think.
Okay.
Code of Guard wise.
So here's the thing. There's a special rule concerning persona points. Persona points are much more valuable than fate points.
And I have 1.
Fate points are crackers. Okay. You eat them really quickly, num num num. Persona points are like ice cream. They are so valuable and sweet.
Okay.
You can spend a persona point to re-roll failures, but only if you can justify it with your character's wise. Also, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think definitely because this is our very first thing that we're doing and it's starting our path to where we're going. So I think I definitely need to do that.
Okay, so here's the problem. You have to tell us what
Okay.
code of the guard lets you reroll all these. Your morale starts to. I think this test shows us that your morale starts to fade, and you realize your patrol is relying on you to get them to a place you've never been before. And on the first day, I think you're just like, we're walking around. This is great. I love hiking, and then
I miss my mother. Where's all of my family?
They're dead.
They didn't. Oh God, that's right.
I should have moved the mic away before you told me that.
Oh, sorry.
Oh god.
Oh my God!
You're killing us! How could you?
So I want you to do something for us. I want you to teach everybody a very powerful moment. If you want to spend this persona point to reroll some of those failures, I want you, as you're walking down this road that you are making because you don't know where you are for a brief moment, I want you to recite with me the guard's oath.
Okay.
Which is in the book right here. So you're mumbling under your breath, or you could yell this out for all the patrol and animals to hear. However
I'm gonna shout it.
Okay. The following oath is something that all mice of the Mouse Guard must swear when they are inducted into the ranks of the Mouse Guard. You will take this oath again if you graduate to Guard Mouse instead of Tenderpaw. We as Guard offer all.
We as Guard offer all.
That we are to protect the sanctity of our species.
That we are to protect the sanctity of our species.
The freedom of our kin.
The freedom of our kin.
And the honor of our ancestors.
And the honor of our ancestors.
With knowledge, sword, and shield.
With knowledge, sword, and shield.
We do these deeds.
We do these deeds.
Never putting a lone mouse above the needs of all.
Never putting a lone mouse above the deeds of all.
Or the desire of self above another.
Or the desire of self above another.
We strive for no less than
We strive for no less than the greater good.
All right.
Awesome.
You may reroll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice in order to live out this oath.
So hopefully I don't get more ones. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh!
Better?
That's much better.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, total of 5 successes.
The oath did it.
The oath did do it.
It was well said. It was very well said.
I'm looking for the oath. I'm having a hard time.
Oh, it's on page. Where is it? For anybody who has the book, that should have been reading.
I had the PDF.
19 of the book.
Oh, I am like way.
You are deep in the dice rolling.
I am deep.
All right, Meadow. You successfully lead them several days down to Willowroot and past the woody area of Copperwood and down past the fruity apple loft, well beyond the Flint Trust dunes, you arrive at Willowroot. Willowroot is not a big town. In fact, its only distinguishing feature is a willow tree that is the place that they live. They live under the shade of this immense, shaggy tree with its long leaves now drooping with almost this protective embrace over this town. You see, popping up from the ground near the trunk and even further out are what looks to be, could be, chimneys. In fact, some towers that are obviously below ground, but the infrastructure of Willowroot does reach up through the underground where it dwells. And you arrive to Willowroot. You pass under the thin, swaying branches, and it's very magical, to say the least, as you step out from the sun into the cool shade of this tree. And you hear, I would imagine you guys are getting here around sundown. So the sun has only begun to set, and you guys are like, oh, we don't have to spend another night outside. Thank goodness. So you guys walk along the road that leads to the base of the tree. And as you go along, you see that there are a few guards towers. Many of them hail you from above. Say, hello, Mouse Guard. Good day, patrol. And you arrive not at the base of the trunk, but sort of like at an entrance that obviously goes down. But it is guarded by 3 mice in what looks to be some wooden armor that is sort of lashed together. And they each look at the 5 of you with suspicion at first. And then they give you an nod and say, welcome to Willowroot. What is your purpose here?
Well, do you want me to speak? I'll speak.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, hello. We are guard mouses sent down by the Lady of Lockhaven because we heard that there might be some form of trouble, and we are here to investigate it.
Each of them tries not to show that when you mention trouble to react, but you see their fur bristle. And they say, very well. You may enter if you wish. You would want to speak with Elswin. He's a guard mouse like yourself. He is usually found in the main street, interrogating people.
What?
You have to leave your weapons further down at the constabulary tower.
I don't think that's protocol, is it?
No, that's not normal.
I'm sorry, have you not been to Willowroot before?
No, and of course we want to, respect local custom, but we are members of the Guard Constabulary, and we must be allowed to carry our protection with us no matter where we go.
I understand, but you are here with mice, Yonder. You certainly know we have no ill will towards the Guard. We merely have protocol. We see no reason why you should walk in bearing arms, especially if you're walking along our main street.
I looked at the others for reaction. Yeah.
There is no reason for us to feel frightened without our weapons. We are more than capable without them.
It is wise. You will do as you say.
Now that you say it like that,
So, with that, you may descend and give up your weapons if so choose. And
I don't actually have a weapon?
I
haven't even weapon.
You'll never take my weapon.
It is my furry fists. Yeah, I'll figure something out at some point. I have a spear. Let's say it's a spear. Yes, a spear.
All right. We'll go.
I'm going to say it's just a regular sword. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sword is actually really good. And you can sort of like say it's like a rapier, or it's like a saber, or it's like a big heavy sword.
I'm going to say it's a rapier.
That's cool. Okay, so you guys descend, and To your delight, Willowroot is a fine town with cobbled streets and little houses that are sort of built under this rigid ceiling that I believe has quite an orderly conduct. You see, people are moving to and fro between various shops and artisanal qualities that they pride themselves on. And you do see another guards mice in town. He is standing outside of what appears to be a sewing shop, where several mice are inside working to weave various things. He seems to have his hands on his hips and sort of waggling his finger in one sharp gesture at this one individual who seems to be blocking him from entering. And he says very loudly so that everybody can hear,
"Well, now next time that I come here, I expect some answers. Oh, you can't be simply ignorant of what's happening outside. By the time I come back, you just wait."
He steps away, sort of pulling his his cloak all the way up to his furry cheeks and and he starts moving down towards the street, sort of looking for apparently someone else to sort of roughly interrogate until his eyes lock on the lot of you. And he pauses. He's very surprised. And then he simply continues onward.
Once I see his look of surprise, I think Willow's gonna lean into with you guys. I'm
gonna get him put some music on now that you're in his town.
I think I know.
You might have to speak up.
Oh, no. I was like, oh, I lead it and I whisper so the guy can't hear me. I think I might know what problem we have to solve in this town. Is I kind of eye this guy who's been interrogating people and looking back at you guys. He just doesn't seem very pleasant.
What do the rest of you think?
I'm curious to know what he thinks his neighbors have done to deserve this kind of treatment.
I am also concerned. There seems to be more security than normal in terms of weapons, and quite a harsh treatment of the mouse population.
Maybe something happened and the townspeople want to keep it a secret?
It is possible. Very possible.
Or perhaps he is seeing shadows and threats where there are none.
Some of the only guards mice in a town, especially this size. You have to listen to the town's mice, and power can get to some people's head, I guess. He seems like not a very nice person, and probably shouldn't be yelling at everybody and have any kind of power, because he's a jerk face.
Well, perhaps we should speak to him.
I just don't like him.
I actually thought perhaps a few of us could speak to him and a few could speak to some of the townsfolk and reconvene after we have some information.
Okay, so if you're gonna do that, I need which players are gonna help with talking to this guy, and which players are going to go out and talk to townsfolk, because this is actually a good role. Oh my God, it's raining. Oh,
I'm good at persuasion.
Persuasion,
So
that's
am I.
nice.
Kind of good.
Okay, so there is a test that you can make to basically gather intel and befriend townsfolk. It is called circles. It's basically a measure of how socially connected your mouse is. So everybody has circles, and if you're going to talk to the townsfolk, you're going to have to go out with a circles check. It's going to be obstacle 3 in order to find people who know what's going on and who are willing to talk to you.
Well, I have a circles of 3.
I have
And
1.
I have a circles of 2.
So it sounds like perhaps I should lead that with some other folks helping me.
Yeah, I'm not very good with people I don't know. I think I get too excited sometimes.
I'm good one-on-one, so I'm good. I'm fine helping with talking to the guy.
Wow.
And we lost for a moment.
He said he'd be right back, so.
Excellent.
Okay, so if we're gonna split up, like, so who's gonna go and talk to the townspeople, and then who's gonna talk to the jerkface?
I'm
I
gonna
will talk-
talk to the townsfolk.
Same. Yes.
Townsfolk. All right.
Team folk.
All right. I can go. I kind of want to talk to jerkface.
I can help.
Alright, so we have hashtag team folk and hashtag team jerkface. Who's going first?
Oh no! Wait, I don't know what team I'm on. as per usual.
Jasper,
is there
where
any-
are you going?
Team folk
I
and
just
team
saw
jerkface.
Laura, like prancing through the frame. Sorry, you prance. It's funny.
Yes! Hashtag team folk or hashtag team jerkface. There's only 2 choices.
So the good way to think about it is, do you have better rollable skills, like in the skills section, or do you have a higher circles?
My
team
circles
folk
is 3.
face.
Oh, your
I'm
circles
safe.
is 3?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
And I
You
have
should hang out
lights.
with us.
I have
Yeah.
circles of 2.
Yeah. We're
And I
team
have
circles. Yeah.
You're making teams now?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay,
it's
so
not-
I'm going with you guys talking to the townsfolk.
Yeah.
Yeah, hashtag
All right.
team folk.
All right.
We have,
Do it.
You have team folk and we have team jerkface.
No, not yoke. Folk.
Very well.
We are the yolk of the nation.
Very well. So, who here would like to go first?
Let's
Let
talk to the
jerk fit.
jerk.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
Can I
wait.
go jerk
No,
first?
you did that.
no, it's okay.
Okay.
I was thinking, like, the 2 youngest mice are like, we're gonna talk to this scary, mean guy.
I just realized that too.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm so ready for this.
Okay. So, go ahead, and what we're going to do is he's going to turn towards you. And I imagine what he'll do is sort of his little pulled up cloak will sort of deflate and come back down on his shoulders. And he'll look at you and say, well,
Hello, we are here on the orders of the matriarch, Gwendolyn, and she said that there are some problems here that need to be solved, and that we are to report to
Elswit?
Elmas? Was that his name?
Elswit?
Elswood.
Elswin.
Elswin.
Swin.
Well, I am Elswin.
Oh, excellent.
Of course he did.
Oh,
But let's see why. Am I to be correct in assuming you came in with that patrol?
yes. Yes.
I see.
and he sort of like rolls his like seems upset about something, and it is at this point you'll have to convince him because he says,
I'm sure the matriarch means well in sending a patrol down here, but I'm here to ensure that the Mustfire celebration goes off without a hitch if these townsfolk can actually take the matter seriously.
Oh.
I mean, sort of. Now, you would know Mustfire is a summer celebration that is generally done before the harvest season. And everybody kind of was like, woo, we're going to harvest. That's great. and for this town who wants to basically be a very prominent harvesting town, that's a big deal. But he seems to be rather miffed about that. He says,
I've been trying to ensure that it is a very safe and well-to-do celebration. And yet these folk want to light a burning pyre outside, as well as disregard what apparently is a strange phenomenon that happens in the evening. And frankly, I am fit to go out there and handle this myself. Tonight, actually. To get to
We
the
could
bar.
come with you.
I do not require, I'm a patrol guard. I do not require a tender paw and a newly graduated guard's mouse. You barely have any dirt on that cloak.
You don't need us, but we might be helpful and we could also learn from you.
Also, what kind of strange phenomenon are you talking about?
Time for persuasion check. He's gonna roll his manipulation against you because he just wants to.
I'm a big, tough patrol guard, and I don't need none of these kids telling me.
Do we both do persuasion?
Only one of you.
Okay, I only have 2.
I'm gonna roll 3 dice for him.
I've only got 2 as well, so
Yay!
You got a 50-50 chance. We're a little bit better than 50-50 chance.
So could I help in any way?
Yeah, you can use Persuader. I feel like the way you guys talked about that before I told you to roll was like a good way of role playing it. So yeah, I think we're okay going with this.
So what you can do is it sounds kind of like you're doing the persuading in terms of like, because we both have the same score.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to do that, I could pitch in with I've got Archivist. So from the books I've read, I'm assuming this is an old festival. So I probably know stories of, sir, that this festival goes back many, many years. And it's proven that with the different villages, it's really boosted morale and have brought mice together throughout the years and have bonded mouse guard and mouse folk alike. And to impede that kind of festival in any way seems like a very bad decision.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep. And for a town that's a big harvester of grain, this will cut right to the bone. All
So
right.
should I add 1 to my 2?
Go ahead and add 1, yes.
So 3 total.
Please get 1. Yay! 2 successes!
3 successes.
No, 2. 2 successes. That's
Yeah, 4, 5, and 6 are the successes.
He
I
frowns,
knew that.
crosses his arms and says,
All right. What weapons do you have?
I have a bow.
Because I certainly don't see them on your person, which would be very helpful right now.
We can get them.
Well, if the townsfolk don't want us to have weapons, I can kind of see why not. It's not like we're in the Sentin border.
But don't these mice know what the guard does? We don't need to waste our time going through paperwork and silly protocols of a settlement that... Regardless, you are to tell your patrol leader that if he sees so fit, you lot can help. Certainly. I'll be sharing my hard-earned intel with you as well.
and let's see how much intel you guys can get.
Please.
So for the 3 of you, now the thing with circles is that you kind of can just go ahead and say how your character is helping, like who are you asking, how are you approaching people, and you don't really need to pick a skill. Just so long as you can tell me what your character is doing with circles checks, I'm okay for it.
Yes.
My soda has me all
go
burpy.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead.
I would.
No, I have burps. You guys want to hear about my burps?
Burp. I would. There must be other elderly mice here, and I would go meet with my peer groups, kind of the gray furs, and we would commiserate about how bad last winter was, and how bad this upcoming winter is going to be, and what kind of trouble we should expect as we prepare for the harvest later this year.
Yeah.
Just kind of getting to the other old grumblers and hearing what they have to grumble about.
I see. I like that. How about the rest of you? You have a peer group
A peer group?
of age that you are targeting?
I would probably go to some local merchants or blacksmiths in the area, since
Smart.
I'm an expert at armory.
Okay.
I could ask them about like how this has been affecting their businesses.
All right.
If
Yes.
there is a glassworks merchant, I'd want to approach them and talk shop a little bit and look at their wares, and then talk about this guy who's been harassing them and what they think is up with that.
All right. That's cool. And who is rolling?
I have 3, but I would like one of the younger paws, I think, too.
Okay. Which among you is brave enough?
I also have 3, but I'm happy to concede.
I have 2.
Okay. Cedar, do you want to go ahead and charge, or do you want Jasper to take lead?
I'll let Jasper take lead.
Right. So you're getting 2 helping dice. That's 5.
Oh, all right.
All right. You obstacle 3. That's right.
I'm trying to do the right thing here.
So to roll, all you gotta do is type in chat /r space 5d6.
Oh, okay, I was trying to do the less than greater than thing, but
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Let
don't
me
know.
make a little note that you guys can just.
how about that roll?
Okay. Yeah. There you guys go.
5 successes!
How about that?
That's potent. That's certainly potent.
I feel your potency.
They must really have much to say.
All right. Here's what I think is going to happen. The lot of you do things, and they're very you'll get information, but it is going to be Jasper's interaction that is going to really shine. So I imagine you go down Main Street, and you're basically looking in the various buildings and communities that usually are organized around a certain occupation or artisan work. And you find the glass blowers, the glaziers, and I imagine you immediately start to mosey up as thunder roils from above. My goodness. Can you guys hear this?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay.
News.
So,
Thunder rolls.
I really wish you failed on that Weather Watcher, else this would be very, very, what is the word? Immersive. And you see someone is between breaths and between letting the glass cool, is sort of mumble singing a song under their breath. And you see it is a fair young mouse, and she is a
Oh no.
Oh no!
Listen,
Did the storm
It's
get to him?
frozen.
Oh no.
Ah!
Ah!
We are
Welcome
on
back.
hold.
Please hold. We're having a possible storm related internet hiccup. We hope to return shortly. But actually, we'll make this a good time to take a break.
Yeah.
And so we will hop out for just a second.
You
While
have to
things
fix the weather.
hopefully get repaired on...
Jasper, do something.
Yeah,
My God.
Jasper, make fix while we're on
I will
break.
go outside and start yelling at clouds right now.
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back.
Or just
Okay, so we're going to start our next giveaway as we wait for 4 to reconnect and bring us back into the game. I should probably turn off the interstitial music. There we go. It is now off. So here is what we would like to do. We would like to give away a set of tabletop loot dice to the person who the random generator within my Streamlabs... You're really... Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Abigator is screwing me up. If you want to win a set of tabletop loot dice from Tabletop Loot, one of our amazingly generous sponsors, all you have to do is type !summer into chat, and you too could be signed up to win a set of Tabletop Loot dice. Everyone needs more dice. There's never any such thing as too much dice. Let's see. I want to thank... We got a bunch of donors over the last few hours, so I just want to take a second to thank them verbally as well. Where do we want to go from? We'll go from... I didn't thank from last stream. I don't know who's all around. So we will start with Slamby, Abigator, M, Wizards, etc., Grant Ellis, Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous. Grumpy Turtle, Shiny Jan, Hawk Hunting, Shogun, Zombie Knight, Now Miyaki, I think I said it right. Now Miyaki, Anya Keister, and Abigator again. Thank you all so much for making our... Oh, Anya Keister? Oh, I get it. Anya and Naomi Yaki. I get it. Anya Keister. Am I getting it? Or is that the person's actual name and I'm just... Okay. Oh, okay. I'm like, did I just get it? Or is it I just made fun of someone's name, like Anya Keister? Okay. Okay, good. Yay. Got it. So we are here today to support Trans Lifeline. Trans Lifeline is an amazing charity that is actually trans-led, that provides microgrants for folks going through transition, and a crisis line that's staffed by members of the trans community for members of the trans community. And so we're incredibly proud to be able to support them today. And we are incredibly humbled by the amount of support we've seen. I think we're just dollars away from a $2,000. We are $15? No, that's not right. Where's my tracker? Doop. We are... That also seems not right. Hang on. Let's reload that. See where we're actually at. Oh, we are at 18... Are we at 1870? Is that right? We are $130 away from $2,000. We had set a goal for $5,000, and that was aspirational. But I think we can hit $3,000 by the end of tonight. For those of you who don't know, we are doing a giveaway of a Dwendalian Empire map signed by the cast of Critical Role. This will be a silent auction starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we will provide the link in stream chat and only in stream chat to folks who want to be a part of that. Silent auctions mean that everybody goes in and bids, and it goes up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And we will be shouting out the current bid total to give it a little bit of excitement. We're going to be shouting out the current bid total in stream because we think that we can get a lot of support for Trans Lifeline with this amazing support from the cast of Critical Role, with this amazing support from Devin Rue and from Tabletop Loot and Rook and Raven and So Nerdware and Shanna Logic and Me in Midair and Kimages and everyone else who has provided giveaways for us over the course of this now 26-hour stream. We have 10 hours to go, and I'd love to see us hit $3,000 by then. I think we can do it. We have an amazing last 2 games with some amazing people in it. And I think we have 4 back. Almost kinda maybe. Hey! Yes, we do. All right, so I'm gonna go and reset everything up, and then we'll be back with game. Y'all ready for this? Yeah, that's what I like to see. Everybody dance along with it. Awesome.
I got
All right.
ice cream. I can't now. No!
We're back. Stop complaining for.
Jasper, can you like roll real life with her watcher?
I'm too powerful.
Scare them away with the dice.
All right, so oh man, I should get my mascot dice. Anyways, quickly, you see this young glassblower. She is a young, blonde, fair maiden, and humming a little song under her breath. And you start chatting it up with her, and she says, "Oh, it's going to be the Mustfire celebration soon. Something that all the towns in this vicinity, Lily Grove, Oak Grove, Birchflow, Willowroot, and Flint Trust, all of us get really into that. It's very important. And we're going to light a ceremonial fire with all of the leftovers of the harvest that is coming in and came from last year. And then we're going to have a big party. There's going to be all sorts of competitions and fun stuff, and hopefully no one will bust, or make a really big fuss about it. Like that mouse guard that keeps telling everyone, oh, you should be more cautious.
Yes, we almost ran into him. Why is he so frightened?
Well, because like in the distance. It's awful. She says, well, because there's whistling tonight.
Whistling? Really?
Yeah.
And does he have any suspicions about what that might be?
Oh, he thinks it's a terrible monster, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But I say it's just someone like me working on a song.
You do very fine work here,
Oh, well, thank you. A much better singer. You should stick around until Mustfire. Maybe I can show you.
Oh, good. You'll be performing.
I will. Will you be fencing or something like that?
I don't know. It depends on where our work takes us, really.
Well, maybe you can make this your business then to stick around.
Perhaps.
She says, I'm Satria, and sort of offers you her paw.
Jasper, and I hold her paw.
Oh, okay. And
it's one of those, like, it's not a shake, it's just a hold.
It's just like a
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And she is very, she's sort of trying to urge you on to, like, you should, like, stick around and hang out with my friends during Mustfire, because after icing, it's going to be a lot of fun, trust me.
I should very much like to hear it.
Because the wine and beer that Oak Grove gives us is fine, but it is, in fact, the Dory gift crowd who only come here during Mustfire. A lot of these shops that you're seeing, those only open, when Mustfire is going on. And this time it's Willowroot that gets to host the Mustfire celebrations, not Flint Trust. It was awful. Last year we had to do it in the dunes. Can you imagine lighting a fire on the sand dunes? It was awful. It was terrible.
Yes, I don't have to imagine, I've done it. But is there much tension between you and this other town? Or is it more like a friendly competition?
I would say it's more like a friendly competition. There's never been anything as horrific as, banditry on this side of the territory, as everybody here knows each other.
Oh, good. Now, friendly competition is very good for your work.
Hello.
Uh-oh. Have I lost you?
Okay, I was hoping that got lost in the internet feed. Guess not. Hi. Beautiful.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so that's sort of what Aegis and Cedar find out. You guys get the idea that there doesn't seem to be a lot of, like, bad blood between these towns. There's probably like a little competitive rivalry, but you don't think like somebody would do, foul play to ruin what is supposed to be like a commercial celebration. Like everybody is supposed to get like both money and.
Oh no!
Oh no! Come back!
no!
Come back! Come back! Come back!
You got
Our DM
this.
is in the middle of a
Come back!
major thunderstorm.
Come-
Yo, he's here!
Oh, hi.
All
Okay.
right.
Hi. Welcome back.
Woo.
We're all like,
Do I ever make a funny face when that happens, or?
No, that was actually a pretty neutral one. There's your funny face. I'm turning that into a GIF, by the way. That's going to be a new GIF.
do
Please,
it.
please, please, please. It is at that point the rest of you can reconvene. Oh gosh, her name was Citria. She says, "I'll be certain to keep an eye out for you. All right? Just don't get too caught up in what's going on. It's supposed to be a celebration for everyone, even Mouse Guard.
Well, I do hope it goes off well.
All right. You just make sure you get there to hear my song, okay?
I will do my best.
Excellent." She sort of holds your paw again, and you two depart, I guess. And there we go. What do you guys do now? You can convene and talk about it, and I believe also include the Mouse Guard Elswin in on this little discussion as I eat my chocolate ice cream.
I was hoping that me and Willow would be able to go out with him and see the strange phenomenon or hear.
Or the whistle or whatever.
Yeah, the whistle.
You might be able to go as a whole patrol.
Oh yeah, if everyone, yeah. If he
Yeah, very true.
is he persuaded to let all of us go?
You crushed that roll.
Okay.
Yes, you can persuade him.
Right, you jerk face.
All right, so
Team
here's what I need.
wins.
He convenes with Aegis, and he says,
Yes,
Your young patrol members told me that they are capable.
they are.
I don't believe them.
You should.
You're gas.
That young Tenderpaw, she guided us here, all the way down by herself. She's quite...
by herself.
Well, of course we worked as a unit, but she was the lead pathfinder as we came down.
All right, well, listen. Here's what's happening. There's something suspicious going on with the Mustfire celebration. I know there's something that's going to go wrong. Now, it's going to be taking place outside of the willow tree. What I don't want is for a fire to go off and people to run and scream and trample on each other. What's
Right.
worse?
Well, yes.
What's
that would-
worse
What?
is they are oblivious to the animals that might reside nearby.
What kind of animals?
I don't know the whistling kind.
Do I know of a kind of animal that whistles?
You might, but it could be a bird. It could be something else. It's
Could be
a
an insect.
It could just be a mouse whistling.
Yes.
An
Well,
insect too. You'd have to hear it in order to really identify it.
okay. Well, I believe Meadowhawk and Willow's instinct is correct. We should join you the next time you go out.
I
And
see.
perhaps together we should figure out what this is, and if we can stop it before we can determine whether or not it's harmful, and if so, we can stop it.
All
If
right.
it's an animal, I'm very good at animal sounds. I might know what it is. But sir, I do have a question for you. How long have you lived in this part of the territories?
I'm completely new to this edge of the territory. Now, see, I come from the West End near Pebblebrook. That is my hometown. We are quite vigilant. We would never allow anything like this to happen.
Oh yes, I can.
And he says,
that-
even the weasels beyond the scent border are not beyond our watchful eye.
Okay, is this before the Weasel Wars or after the Weasel
This
Wars?
is after. This is after.
Are you by chance a veteran of the Weasel Wars?
Well, of course. Why do you think Pebblebrook still stands?
Okay. For those of you who don't know, in Mouse Guard lore, the Weasel War is like a big war where like the weasels tried to eat all the mice.
Yeah, the
mice-
weasels were like, we want some mousy strips. We want some mouse. Let's
burgers.
just take all the mice and put them in a McDonald's, and we'll run the McDonald's. That's basically what happened. And the mice were like, please don't.
So it's basically a McWeasels.
McWeasels, yeah.
And it tends to make the people who served in the Weasel War a tad bit on edge, because they had to like literally fight a whole race of weasels who were trying to eat them. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're trying to turn them into mice McNuggets.
They have like a whole kingdom and a whole pit where they just like put mouse skeletons in this pit. It's intense. Yeah.
So
You are
it's
getting
like
way
a-
too Lori.
Sorry.
So like a Big Mac mouse,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or like the quarter pounder mouse burger.
He's getting it. Yeah.
Yeah. You've got the oeuvre.
Or the filet o mouse.
Oh,
Oh boy.
okay.
Okay, so
That's enough McPunnage.
what do you do or say?
What?
Because otherwise, I'm going to have you guys start rolling.
I'm good to start rolling.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, do we all have to start rolling?
Well, you will, because it's nighttime and he wants to go out now. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have some of you roll scout. We're going to have one big scout roll to see if you can be in the right spot for where this whistling will happen. And just sort of like patrol the area around the region. So I want one person to make a scout check.
I have 2.
I have 4.
4's good.
Or is good.
Yes.
I am good.
Yes.
Okay. Is everybody good with 8? Wow, everybody at Aegis has 2?
I have 2, yes.
All right, Aegis, do you want to lead this?
Yes, I would be happy to lead.
Okay, go ahead.
I like to roll dice. How many bonus dice am I getting?
How are you guys helping?
Question, do they go away when you use them?
What go away?
Like if I use
Persona points?
No, is it skills or traits? Skills.
Traits.
If I
Yeah, if you use them to help yourself, they do go away. But you have level 2. What was it? Nimble?
Yeah.
Trait.
Okay, you have 2 uses of that.
Okay.
But if you're like helping somebody with just a skill, if you're using
Yeah.
a skill, those just stay there. Those are
Yeah,
yours.
you can use
Okay,
it.
okay.
Whatever
Yeah,
skill.
that's what I was thinking. So if I have like my 2 scout, would I be able to help him with that, or is?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so I can
It
give.
does stop anyone else from using Scout to help, though.
Oh, but don't we all have 2?
You all have 2, but we're still using that rule where 5 scouts can't all go this way and be useful.
So
Okay.
scouty.
So is it more useful for me to use them or to not use them in this
It
situation?
really depends on what other skills you guys want to help with.
I'm gonna help with.
I will allow you to help with the nature as well. Your mouse nature encompasses like certain things about your character as a mouse. So if it is anything related to foraging, hiding, climbing, and what's the last one? Foraging, hiding.
Jumping, loving, hugging,
Period.
squooshing.
Eating, saving.
No!
I'm just throwing out words.
Weasel food.
No!
Putting things
But yes!
Yes to the McWeasels.
Yes, but no.
Nature, escaping, climbing, hiding, foraging. Okay, wait, I did all of them.
Escaping.
Well, we figured this out. I forgot to give us a winner of our giveaway. So let us see who wins the dice, wizards, etc. left. If you were still here, you get it, but if you left, I'm sorry. I'll have to draw someone else.
And there we got a donation.
Thank you for the donation. We are at $1,901.00. Wizards, etc., are you here? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Picking the winner. Now, Miyaki, I know you are here. I've seen you chat recently.
Hey.
I believe you are here. Would you like a set of dice? Would you like a...
Miyaki, where are you?
Come to us. There are 52 people in this chat.
Come to
How
us.
are you not...
We have dice for you.
Would you... Oh, there we are. Okay, you are here. There we are. All right.
There you are. Yes.
Please,
Good save.
please DM me your address where I can send you a set of Tabletop Loot dice. For this stream is brought to you by Tabletop Loot and Devon Rue and So Nerdware and Rook and Raven, and we are very proud of our sponsors and their help in helping us raise money for Trans Lifeline. Thank you so much. And back to game.
Please roll the dice, and it's going to be a versus test.
I
You can go ahead. It's fine.
I want to help with the laborer. I feel like on the scouting mission, while he's scouting around, there will probably be some debris that will be around that I can pick up and get out of the way, and just kind of like generally being over helpful with like, do you need me to carry something? Ages, are you getting tired? Do you need me to carry your pack?
I don't think laborer is gonna do that. Because the goal of the skill is to be like, I wonder where this whistling is going to be taking place.
Okay.
Do I notice anything when I carry my patrol leader? You want to give him like a piggyback?
Yeah, you could carry me. It would
I
give me
use
some
my
extra look around.
survivalist.
Survivalist. How would you use your survivalist?
I could try and find like good hiding spots if we are trying to figure out where this whistle is coming from. We can find good hiding places. I could try and, if I see any irregular tracks that might be looking weird, I can see those.
I actually really like that. Go ahead.
Yay!
Nice!
I knew I was really like stretching for the laborer, but
Yes.
It's fine.
I like using laborer.
Labor is a laborious endeavor.
I feel like it's a useful skill.
What else would you like to use?
I have the 2 scout if that's helpful.
Mm-hmm. That'll be used. So we have 2 dice helping Aegis. Jasper, do you have anything to help with? Or do you think you guys are okay?
Be that kind of
I
story.
apologize
What is
on
better?
behalf of Manhattan.
What is better, my thunderstorm or
Manhattan.
I like it.
Yeah.
Jasper drives out in a new Ford Chevrolet?
I don't know. It sounds like a Jay Gatsby car almost. Like
That's a good point.
Wah, wah.
So, is there any skill you want to add to this? Because I'm not going to tell you how many dice that your opponent is going to be using, but you don't necessarily need to help out.
Could I help with Hunter in like looking for tracks and things?
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, also looking for animals that might be making this whistling noise. Or is it just a stupid mouse?
Is it a stupid mouse? All right, I am up to 76, and that is a lot of dice, but I will say, I am an old fur, and that makes me quite wise about the world, and that is one of my traits. And I'm wondering if there's a way that I could use that here.
You have had your ear to the ground about whistling, maybe. Maybe you can distinguish whether this is a natural animal sound or if this is like a musical sound.
Yes.
Yes,
That works for me.
Navigator.
I actually do have, if we can do wises, I've got bird wise. I can try to
That's
figure out.
right. I forgot to tell you, you can help with your wises and not suffer any negative consequences if you use that.
Oh,
Your character.
because I have predator wise, and I feel like that might be useful here.
to help somebody else.
Oh, well then I will just take Abigail's dice and be at 86.
See, Wises can be used to reroll dice. So if you fail and you really want this to work, you might be able to do that. I'm gonna roll my dice, and we'll roll your dice at the same time, okay?
All right, say when.
When?
Boom goes the aged dynamite. Yes.
All right. Here's what's going to happen. You set out during the evening, and you trudge through the darkness and away from the comforting drapage of the willow tree. And you depart in different directions at first, then you sort of coalesce around an area that Elswin is sort of adamant, like, this is where they show up. This is where I'm hearing it. And what I will do now is you will be in the vicinity of where it is. But in order to identify what it is, you're going to have to make a hunter check. And it will not discover you. This was primarily the reason I wanted to make the scout check, is if it discovered you or not. You guys are to make a hunter check now to identify what this whistle is. It's a very like sharp shriek almost, but it sort of goes out into a long echo. So it's really up to you guys to figure out what it is. You hear it once, twice, long pause, then again. So who here has hunter?
I do.
You have 3?
I've got 4.
You got.
Ooh, I will help you.
All right. You want to help with Predator Wise now?
Yeah, now I will help with Predator Wise. Absolutely.
I would like to use. Could I add Deep Ear to this?
Deep Ear? Yes! Yes, that is perfect. Perfect use of that skill. This is going to be obstacle. Let me double check this, because Hunter is a very special skill. Hunter. Okay. It's going to be obstacle 4.
Would I be able to help out with Birdwise again?
Yes, that actually is very useful, because it's going to be silly if you're like, it's a dangerous, deadly beast, and it's a mockingbird who's just doing a really good job fooling you guys. That would be a great twist,
right?
Personally.
Would Insectress help just in case it's an insect making a sound?
Yes. Actually, that's actually very good.
I
like this.
5 Insectress!
That's amazing. Why didn't you have a bug pet?
I can.
I want you to have a bug pet.
Remember, she went for a dragonfly.
Okay, when we get to the player's turn, you're getting a bug pet.
Okay.
And I think you have. Does anybody else want to give dice? Peter, do you have anything?
What do I have?
If you have anything in Hunter, you can use Hunter.
I have no Hunter. I have nothing. I have nothing.
Oh no.
Loremouse, maybe?
Loremouse? Do you have Loremouse? What's your Wise?
My Wise? I have Mouse Guard Wise. That's it. I can't do anything.
Yeah, I don't think so. Nothing right now.
I can't do a thing.
That's fine. Okay.
I'm just a tree. Just call me Cedar the Tree right now, because I can do nada.
Okay, this is going to be obstacle 4, good fellow.
Okay, so I'm rolling my Hunter, which is 4 plus what?
Plus 3. I believe that is your total.
Okay, so I'm rolling 7 dice.
Okay.
You can
More
do
successes.
it. But
Oh no.
I don't.
You cannot do
Not
it.
good.
Okay, if you take. Okay, so yeah, I think you can take this failure. So here's what I'm gonna do.
My ears are too deep. I'm getting distracted by all the sounds.
Actually, yeah, Okay, so the twist is you are going to be able to find out what it is, but you're going to discover that this animal is not working alone. And here's what will happen. You guys start moving towards this sound, and I'm gonna have Jasper trip. Jasper, you trip into a hole.
No.
Yeah. And it's not a big hole. It's just sort of like you tripped into like one of these, but you walked in from this side. So you see him just like dip forward and fall face flat into the dirt. And you crawl out, and it's very like suspicious. What was this hole doing here? And then you realize as you continue sort of marching in a direction with that scout check, that very successful scout check, you will be aware that there are all these holes, and they've been burrowed by some sort of animal. And then you hear that cry again. You're like, the whistle pig. Some whistle pig is coming out here, digging holes, and screaming its head off. Now, this usually wouldn't be a problem because whistle pigs, they don't generally like go for mice. They're more of like a whole tasty grub. Tasty, yummy, juicy, crunchy grub. Or, you know, whatever else. Worms, maybe. But then you realize Willowroot is a town completely based underground. You cannot imagine what would happen if some burrowing gopher, some whistle pig, would cause some instability in the soil around it. That might be a problem. That was the whistle pig whistle right there.
They're adorable.
But then you hear something. You hear that noise again, and you realize that one doesn't sound right. You listen again, and you realize this second whistle is not from a whistle pig. It's very similar, but you come to the conclusion that it is no doubt a flute or some sort of whistle that has been made to mimic a whistle pig noise. It doesn't fluctuate, and it goes on a bit too long than it should. But it is definitely a fake whistle that seems to be sort of trying to communicate with this whistle pig. Might be drawing it closer to Willowroot. But you can't, as of yet, find where this creature is. Because
it seems like someone is herding a whistle pig.
Yeah, that's exactly what it seems.
I will look at our local mouse guard friend and ask him, is there anyone who you know of who may have dangerous designs on Willowroot?
He frowns. Nope.
That was very unhelpful, thank you.
Except for weasels. Probably weasels.
Well,
How about somebody who, do you know anybody like in town or around town who's known to be like a good flute player or any kind of like, I don't know, slide whistle or any kind of like wind instruments?
No. He gives you an incredulous look that a slide whistle is behind this and leaves it at that.
best thing to do is keep searching then, yes?
If we can find the whistle pig, I should be able to try to like talk to him, and then if we find whoever this person
Yeah, right
is,
now the whistle pig is the legit threat.
Yeah.
Must get it away from Whistleroot.
Whistle.
It will be Whistleroot if we're not lucky.
True. It sounds like you can find the perpetrator, but only by doing it in the player's turn. Because if you leave the whistle pig to its own devices, it will cause trouble for the Muskfire and Willowroot.
We can't let it whistle its way to danger.
Oh my god, I like your sense of humor. You are a good mouse, and I'm sure wise.
All right. So what is your plan? Essentially, I actually really have to go to the bathroom. So I want you guys, in character or out of character, to figure out a plan with which you can either divert, dissuade, or defeat this whistle pig.
Love that it's a whistle pig.
Yes. So what do people think?
I'd like to find out who would be hurting an animal for this purpose, but the pressing matter is making sure it doesn't crush anyone.
Yes.
We should try and divert the pig. We don't want to anger it. It's the last thing we want, or it'll make problems worse.
I agree.
I like talking to animals. I can talk. I can try to talk to him, and I can be like, "Hey, whistle pig, look, show us who's hurting you, because whoever that person is not very nice. We're nice. See, we're super nice, and we just don't want you to get hurt. And maybe you could go this way, like not towards the village."
Yes. Tenderpaw. Meadowhawk.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think that it's important to figure out who is making the sound and why. To be able to figure out what the purpose of all of that is. Because if are they trying to lure them here to like do something bad or what?
Yes. So I think everyone is right. It's just the matter of how we order this. Right?
Okay.
I believe that should we find the whistle pig, we will find whoever is trying to control the whistle pig, because a whistle does not play that far, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd be nearby.
So they would likely be nearby, yes. So we could possibly confront the whistle pig and shoo it off, and then find whoever, search the area to find whoever perhaps was attempting to control it and rile it up.
The question now is, do we try to block it from an area? Do we try to scare it off, or do we try to lure it somewhere else?
Willow has... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I wanna talk. Like I said, I'm really good at talking and persuading before we try to like attack something or like, I don't know, try to shoo it or scare it. Because whistle pigs can be a little bit jumpy, and if they start running away from us and burrowing, it might just make the underground more unstable, which is not good. So I can try to talk to it, but I mean, if you want me to, I might not be. Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. So it sounds like what we want to do, perhaps, is hunt down the much more exact location of this willow pig, and whistle pig. Yes. And then from there, we know that whoever is whistling to it will probably have to be nearby, because whistle's sound does not travel that far. Willow can talk to the pig, and should we hear the whistle while we're there, we'll be much more likely to track down the culprit. Is this agreeable?
Yes.
It was like,
I think we're going to try to track the whistle pig.
Yes. Track, talk, find.
I get to talk to a whistle pig.
Yes. That is our plan, Mr. Forefront.
I'm muted.
Ah.
Yes, you are, of course.
So you So you're gonna find the whistle pig.
Yes.
So that requires trying to go into each of these holes basically and find its location. I'm trying to think of what kind of check that would be. You either want to try to lure it out, or you literally will have to put yourself at risk at these holes. So.
Is there any way I can try to, like, whistle pig? Where are you? We just want to help. Like.
No, I don't think it would respond. You could try to do your own version of a whistle pig whistle. That would be a lore mouse check.
Yes, I want to do that.
I see. That's going to be obstacle 3.
All right, I've got 3 lore mouse. And...
Hunter and scientist can help. Nothing else.
Okay.
Or wise.
Hunter?
Oh, hang on. I have scientist. I do believe. I do.
What do I have? Don't have much.
I don't have much.
Yeah, I don't have much. I have Scout, have Pathfinder, have Survivalist. Don't have much.
That's okay. All right, so I've got 5. I would also like to use my... Can I use 2 traits at once, like 1 for and 1 against?
No.
Ah.
That is cheating.
You big cheater.
Ew. I've got 5. I almost want to use the trait against me. Myself.
Good. If you think player's turn is going to be that important.
What happened? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
I'm
wanna
weird for a
use-
second.
I want to use my stubborn against me.
All right, go ahead. It's going to be obstacle 3. So yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right.
Stubborn whistling. I know I should cheer you guys on, but sometimes I really love twists. Go ahead. You will be able to confer a or something along the lines of that. What do you think a whistle pig sounds like?
You just hear Willow kind of like very... Because she can't whistle. So she tries for a little bit. She's like, I can't do it.
All right. And
You're doing
I think
amazing.
And eventually she'll get a little bit closer to a whistle.
okay. And then you see some large mound of fur bust out of one of the holes and just go. And it starts making its way over to you guys.
Oh, hello.
What do you say now that it has garnered attention? Because this is now either manipulator or persuader.
I'm probably...
Or something else. You could just pull out your swords and kill it.
No!
Which Elsewin is like, I actually think it would be best if we drove this beast off.
I'm going to be quietly ready to take action if the situation calls for it.
Willow is so excited. She doesn't even seem scared. She's just like,
Okay. I'm gonna say the whistle pig relays its attention to you with a and it's going to like crawl towards you guys, and it starts to slow down just a bit before it stops and says,
Babies.
yes, we're small. But what are you doing over here this close to the babies?
Digging.
Well, I heard something else that sounded like a willow pig, like a big
Whistle
person,
pig.
Whistle pig.
I'm sorry.
My husband.
Just a second.
I'm sorry, what?
A husband. The whistle pig has a husband.
I'm digging
You're digging?
for my husband.
Is her husband buried, or is she digging on the request of her husband?
Are you trying to find your husband, or are you...
None of my holes are good enough.
Oh, so
I'm
you're trying to...
digging. He keeps screaming.
Oh.
So I dig.
What? Do you know what? I was listening. And I think I heard your husband, but did you listen really, really close? I don't know. It sounded a little bit like a whistle pig, but then it also sounded a little bit like me. You know how when I
Like
talk
you,
to you?
little fur baby?
Because when I talk to you, it sounds a little bit different, right?
Yeah, because you're a fur baby and not my husband.
Do you think that maybe I know this is bad, but there's a bunch of fur babies here. We think that maybe some bad guy is trying to, like, have you dig a lot of holes to try to hurt the little town of fur babies by pretending to be your husband.
By making bad holes? My holes are good.
Your holes are the best holes I have ever seen. In fact, your holes are too good for baby mice like us.
That's right. They're only for me and my husband.
Do you know what? I think that there's some really, really good material for hole digging, especially for, like, husband attracting hole digging. But not near us mouse babies. Because fur
It's
babies...
true. That's true.
Uh-huh.
Because my husband, he yells very loud. But my holes aren't good enough, and I don't know why. And when it comes to the holes that I dig,
I think that it's probably because you're so close to us. Maybe the mouse babies are scaring your husband, not even scaring your husband away, but maybe he just doesn't want to be close to us. We are.
so I should move the fur babies.
No!
No.
That seems like a lot of work for you.
I've been working so hard, it just seems like I might as well go all out, you know?
Why don't we help you find another place to dig awesome husband attracting holes?
Okay, you need to
Guys.
decide whether this is a persuader or a manipulator, because she could okay, it's persuader. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you lying to her? Or are you making a promise?
Because originally I wanted to convince her, I wanted to persuade her that her husband is just a mean guy trying to trick her.
Okay.
Your husband is the one who's on here. Your holes are
You're too good.
fantastic. These two.
Oh,
You're
that's
too
a good
good
thing.
for him.
You're too good for him. He doesn't.
You dug all these holes, and he didn't even bring you one cricket.
Yes, exactly. He doesn't even reward you or show you his appreciation for all these holes.
Can
That's-
this be... Yes, I
That's
like this.
helping. That's helping dice. That's helping dice, I guess. But again, let's figure out, what do you want to convince this whistle pig, this single whistle pig, of what to do?
That whoever this bad person is, pretending to be your husband is not a real whistle pig. And you dig such good holes that you can find a better husband in another place. Because this guy is just
He ain't good for you. He's a bad influence.
Making
He's
you
gonna
work so much
ruin
for
your
nothing.
good holes.
Okay.
This is
Does
the
anybody
best.
else want to help?
If I was less tired, I would be cracking up right now. This is the best.
I saw you. I saw you break.
Right.
Yeah. I am rational. Would
I
that help?
have persuasion.
I have a persuader too. I have like
Okay.
I think I have a 1.
Yeah,
I have a 1.
you've got your persuader in.
Yeah, at 2.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna help as well. Jasper, do you have anything to contribute to this conversation?
I don't think I can help in any way.
To
I'm
this
so sorry.
intervention. Okay.
All
Okay.
I'm doing is just talking. Does that help? I was.
Yeah, you've already got your helping dice to tell her to be a more independent whistle pig.
That you're a strong, independent whistle pig that needs no
best.
man. You can make your own holes and be appreciated.
Best.
So, does the Tenderpaw have anything to say in this line of questioning?
Disagree with everything else that was just said.
Am I back? Am I here? Am I here?
We actually lost Ephemeroptera real quick there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Okay.
I just said I'm in agreement.
So you're just sort of like wide-eyed, like she's right.
Yes.
You
I would be
are.
laughing, but not letting her see that I was laughing.
So this is gonna be a versus test against the Whistle Pig.
Could I pitch an oratory into that?
There's only one Whistle Pig here.
Oh, okay. And so oratory would be for a group.
Yep.
Okay.
Are you ready?
So this time I'm going to use my quick-witted, even though in real life it wasn't as quick-witted as I wanted it to be, but I'm going to use that 4
Alright.
to add a dice.
It's a 5.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna roll my dice.
Oh, that's really.
Whistle Pig coming through strong.
That's
Yep.
strong whistle pig.
1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
It's a
No, 4.
1. Oh wait, 4. Yeah, it's a tie.
Okay, Abby, we could do this one of 2 ways. You could spend a fate point, try to reroll that 6, or you can let the failure stand, and I'll probably do something twisty, or we could do a tiebreaker roll.
I usually like your twists for. I think I'm going to let you do something twisty.
Okay, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You can. There's something called using a trait to break a tie. You can use one of your traits to break a tie in my favor. If you and you get 2 players checks for that. So if you want, Abby, you can use one of your traits to break the tie in my favor, and Whistle Pig Mama is gonna. She's gonna do something.
I'm scared.
I don't know. What do you guys think? In your opinion,
twist.
should I?
Which
Tie
trait
breaking
do you want to
your-
use?
Tie break in your favor.
Tie break in my favor?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, she can't in her favor. It has to be in my favor.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're gonna use a tiebreaker roll, which is her will versus the Whistle Pig's nature.
Okay, I say a tiebreaker roll.
Tiebreaker roll? Okay.
Okay, let's do it then.
Ah!
And no helping dice.
Okay.
Just nature versus mouse will.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Oh, was it just one? Or
What?
Do we roll the whole thing? Do we roll the whole thing again?
Yeah, you roll your will. What is your will?
Oh, my will is strong. It's 3.
My will is strong.
Well, let's see if you get.
It's not gonna. Yeah.
Oh, well, you got no successes.
Looks like you done fucked up.
You gone done fucked up.
You fucked up, number 1.
I'm
Let's
sorry.
No, you're totally fine. This is
No, it's fine. So Whistle Pig is gonna win this test. And here's what I think is gonna happen. There's gonna be a whistle in the distance. And what I imagine is gonna happen next is she rises up on her haunches, looks out wide-eyed. He calls. And
God, we lost someone.
no.
It's not 4 this time. It's not you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
it's yeah.
Let me fix
I'm out of
cameras real
breath.
quick.
Okay, I'm out of breath. Hold on. Whistle
It's-
Pig Mama voice took a lot out of me.
Oh, back.
Okay.
Okay.
Beep. And everything's in the right place, so I'm not gonna touch nothing. This is not
God.
touching nothing.
Perfect.
Hold on. Okay.
It'll just be one moment, please hold.
Here's what I think.
Hey, welcome back.
Hello, can you hear us?
I can see her.
I can see you. Can you? Do you got us?
Yes.
Okay,
Welcome back.
that's great to hear.
Awesome.
I
So
think I'm having bad weather too. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right.
it's that kind of event, I suppose. So, here's what's going to happen. She is going to begin digging. And it is going to go straight towards Willowroot.
Oh no!
She says, "This is it. He's right there. He's going. I gotta prepare." And she starts digging. She's going straight to Willowroot.
Oh, no.
Conflict time.
Oh,
Okay.
we have to stop her.
This is a conflict. So here's what's going to happen. You guys are in a conflict. That means we have to organize. The Whistle Pig is going to have a goal for this conflict. Her goal is to get under that willow tree where the best burrow can be dug, connected to the rest of her tunnels. And then she'll have babies, hopefully.
It's probably not gonna happen. No.
What?
I will stop them. No.
What is your goal in this conflict? You have
To
to
divert her.
divert her. Okay,
That's
smart.
my plan.
That's
I'm
a really
going
good goal.
to I'm gonna find that whistle man and expose him for the liar that he is.
Now, unfortunately, because we're a group, because we're all working together, we can only have one goal for the conflict.
Damn it! I
And-
want
and-
to
and the
show her
big-
that she's better than this.
No, she's got a different
Apparently
plot than
not. Yeah. I vote for
Uh,
divert. I think that's right. I think
Convert
that's
is
right
a
on.
really good idea.
Or divert. Well, what
now-
Meadowhawk said, divert.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's going to be a very different conflict. Usually you can do fights with fighter and hunter and all that other stuff. This sounds more like almost like a scientific-y trap making conflict, because this is going to be a long haul. You guys are going to be trying to figure out like, okay, how do we divert her? How do we like make her go this way? This is going to be a very homebrewy conflict. So here's what we need. I need someone to step up and say, I'm going to be the thinker. I'm going to be the stand-in for the group. Look at your wills. Okay. And decide who has the biggest will and who has the biggest hunter, scientist, or lore mouse. Those are going to be the 3 skills that are going to be the mainstays of this conflict.
I
I
have
have
a will of 4.
I have a will of 3.
I may also, scientist, hunter, and lore mouse. Those are the 3 skills that I'll.
I have none of those.
Yeah, me either, and I have a will of 3 as well.
Ooh.
Well, I have scientist, so perhaps somebody with a 3 will should be our lead, and I will help them with science.
Yeah, all of you guys will be able to help each other during this conflict.
I can try it.
Reborn mouse, so
My will is pretty good. Did you say Hunter would come into play here too?
I did, yes.
Great. Yeah, I've got a 4 in both.
Oh, good.
Okay. You're going to get 4 helping dice from each player. So go ahead, roll your 4 dice and add the successes to your will, which is 4. So that's how disposition is figured into this sort of thing. Disposition is basically your team's health points. It's going to decide how much you can withstand before you fail the conflict.
I really like this mechanic.
The Whistle Pig gets 1 success. So the Whistle Pig currently has 6 disposition. So roll your 8 dice. Do you want to add any trait points to this?
I'm rolling.
Yep. So you'll be rolling.
I think that I used a trait already.
You did not use Nocturnal though.
And it is
No, I
nighttime.
haven't, and it is night. Oh,
It is
fantastic.
nighttime.
Yeah, I will absolutely use that. Does that add another
1.
dice? Okay, so 9 altogether.
96.
That's pretty good.
Nice. Let's see.
Why?
6 to 6. This is gonna be rough. All right, guys. Here's what happens next. We're gonna play this game in volleys now. Volleys.
Like 2 successes though.
Yeah. This is rough. You guys are 6-6 each. So every volley, 1 mouse takes 1 action. There are 4 actions that you can choose from. You can choose attack, which is basically I'm going to roll my skill to basically take down my opponent's disposition. So if I attack and I make successes, I minus those successes from my opponent's disposition. So the goal of each conflict is to get your opponent to 0 disposition. That's the only way you can end a conflict. Defend can be used to recover lost disposition and block attacks. But you have to be careful about this because the 3rd action is called feint. Feint, if played against disposition or defend, it stops the defender from rolling. So basically, they get to do direct damage even though you defended. But if feint is played against attack, sort of like a rock, paper, scissors scenario, then the feinter does not get to roll anything. They are now the one who has been sort of caught in their own feint. And now they take whatever damage the attacker rolls. There is a 4th action. Maneuver. Maneuver, the successes you make from a maneuver action can be spent on certain benefits and disadvantages. You can give, with 1 success, a +1 to the next mouse's roll. 2 successes give -2 dice to the next roll that your opponent makes. And with 3 successes, you can disarm a certain weapon from your opponent. And animals have weapons that they can use during this conflict, like burrowing claws. So, you need to pick 3 mice in this first volley to go, and then the 2 mice who are not in this volley will go after in the second volley. You also need to decide what action you're going to take, and that's basically it. I have decided the Whistle Pig's actions, so now you may go ahead and decide yours. Who goes first?
Is it digging underground or is it like above ground digging down?
I think it's currently above ground digging down.
All right.
I'm gonna say that depending on what skill you use and how you describe what you're doing, we're gonna be a little looser than usual in conflicts.
Well, I have Hunter 3 and would be happy to be our attacker on this first round.
I have
Hunter 3.
a 4 in fighter.
I have
I'm
nothing.
sorry.
in
I have a 3 in fighter, yeah. But if you have a 4,
I have a 4, yeah.
You guys can fight, but that does enter damage into this.
Yeah,
Oh,
like, we
right.
want to divert. We don't want to fight.
Okay.
That's the last.
So, like, survivalist, scientist, and hunter and lore mouse are the 4 skills I think that can be used for
I
this
have a
purpose.
2 in survivalist.
Okay.
Same. I do too.
I have a 2 in scientist, so I can do that.
You
Scientist.
also can use You also can use your nature for any check that you want to use. So remember, This is kind of important, but I kind of left it until now. Your nature can be used for any check, but if it is not mousy, it gets reduced by 1, okay? So you can sacrifice your nature in order to use that for a role that you might not be good at.
Excellent.
This is the only confusing part about Mouse Guard. So,
So I would like to use my nature with science. I'll go first so everyone else can have a moment to think.
Okay.
I would like to use my nature.
So
with
you'll be
scientist.
attacking with Scientist.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
I have a nature of 5 and 2 in science, so I'd roll 7 dice. Is that correct?
Now you're going to spend a persona point to add your nature to your Scientist roll.
Yes.
All
Might as well
right.
knock it
Sounds
out
good.
of the park.
Okay.
76. Greater than 4. Not 75. Greater than 4. Boink. Well.
Oh, it's 2.
Oh, we don't roll until everybody has decided the action.
Okay, I erased that. That never happened. That was not a thing. Okay. Yes, that is what I will do. I will roll my 7 dice for nature.
All right.
And okay. That is me.
Okay. I'm going to be using my survivalist for this one since I can't do much with it. I only have like a 2 in survivalist.
You could use it for defend. You sort of do want to like weigh your options. Like, do we send the mice who are not as highly skilled to do defends or attacks, or do we send them to do maneuvers to set up someone else? And remember, like, each of you can sort of describe how this conflict is going to go. Like, are you guys going to try to like build barriers to stop it? Are you going to try to like find means to discourage it from,
I'm going to
driving
find
forward?
ways to discourage it from doing
Okay. So with survivalist, I think you could make a fire.
But I don't want to
Maybe.
burn the tree down.
Or you could find like water nearby. Like you could find there's a water over here, so we could try to make it not want to go in that direction. If we can try to direct it to this stream,
Yeah, I could do that.
you could do that. I think that sounds like a good idea.
And as a scientist, I can survey the ground to find the path of least resistance to get there.
So are you going second?
I'll go.
Who were you asking?
I'm asking Cedar
Oh, okay.
because nobody else has so far said they're going to go next.
I'll go second.
Everybody does have to go eventually because,
I'll go second.
Okay,
who
so
will go third?
I was about to
And
say,
you guys
so far,
can turn this into a fight conflict whenever you want.
so far, we've got Ages first. No, or Jasper.
At Ages goes
Okay,
first.
Ages first. And
Bjorny.
what are you doing?
I am surveying the ground to find the path of least resistance to help move it around the town.
Perfect.
So that it
That's
doesn't-
attacking. So you're legit like making them. Also, labor, I will say, will be very good for every single one of these.
How is that attacking?
Labor, literally digging to disrupt the.
Oh,
hole.
yeah. Okay.
So it's not like
yeah.
physically.
You're like
okay.
collapsing the hole.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like conflict. Okay. Okay.
Let's see. I can either do laborer to help with that, or I could do lore mouse. Was it? Yeah, it was lore mouse.
Yeah, lore mouse. You could sort of like tap into like, okay, what is it about this creature's nature that might divert it away from burrowing? Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, that's actually a good idea. Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna this will sort of be in the vein of like we could talk to it. We could like trick it to do something else before it gets to the town.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going third, right?
I believe so, unless somebody else wants to go third.
And then next volley will go to Anna and Freddie. Which one of you wants to go first in the second volley? We can decide that like after, I think. All right, so Thrak,
Yes.
you are attacking, right?
Yes.
It is defending.
Of course.
So let's roll dice.
Let's roll dice.
I got 3 successes.
Why are you so mean to me?
You get +2 from helping dice from the mice in the volley, okay?
Oh, excellent. So that's 96 with 6
Ooh.
successes.
All right. It is going to be deflecting 3 of those, but it is already brought down to half.
Nice.
All right. And now, so I imagine this is a moment where like you realize we're running out of time. This thing is going to start burrowing. We have to find ways to divert it. So you sort of like follow its traction, and you're like, okay, what is the soil like over here? Blah 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 blah. And you start giving out orders. Like you're already formulating like a plan in your scientisty brain.
Wait, what is the other mouse guard doing?
He's sort of leaning towards letting you guys figure this out, actually.
Oh, of course he is, obviously.
Yeah, he's sort of been like observing you like this, like, oh, yes. He has a sword though, so we'll see what happens after this conflict if he has anything to say or give. Depending on what you guys do. So you are defending, correct, Cedar?
Yes.
It is attacking.
Oh, no!
So this will be a versus test. It got
Against
2 successes.
Against what?
You're using survivalist to find water, right?
Yes.
So roll your survivalist plus 2.
So that's 46, correct?
Yep.
Do better.
You got this. Ba-doom, doom. Oh no.
A tie is good.
2 successes!
So you deflect this instance. So how I imagine this happening is the whistle pig burrows down, and it gives Aegis a moment to be like, okay, we need a plan. We need to find moisture-rich soil to sort of divert it and make it a little bit more difficult to burrow and dig. And Cedar, you're like, I'm on it. And you start looking for a direction that we need to push it in order to make sure that it is slowed down enough so that you guys can do something by the end of this conflict.
Okay.
Abby, you're next, correct?
Yes.
All right. It is maneuvering. What are you doing?
What was Lord Mouse again in terms of attacking or whatever?
What do you want to do out of this? You want to...
I want to basically find something in this pig whistle.
This pig nature.
His pig nature that I would see like, oh, this will make it want to dig over here instead of over here.
All right. Let's roll.
All right.
3 successes. Nice. That's going to be brutal for next volley.
And then I get 2 helping die, right?
Yeah, I think yours is maneuver too, don't you think?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah. So this is independent of each other, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh!
Okay, so here's what you can do. You can, actually both of us can choose to give ourselves +1 for the next volley.
Okay.
Or next action, and -1 to each of us.
Oh,
you want to
so
spend that way, or do you want to like disarm it?
I feel like disarming it would start to like.
How would you do
aggressive.
that? What part? So you would understand by this roll. I'm gonna go and tell you the whistle pig's nature.
Okay.
The whistle pig is tunneling, digging, burrowing, and foraging. You can disable one of those.
Probably digging.
Okay. So it's going to only be able to burrow and make tunnels. So it's going to be like... Okay. This is going to be interesting. So I think this is going to stop it from... attacking next volley, I think.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be with the disadvantage next volley. I'm going to say it'll like roll at -1 with attacks.
Okay.
Because Mouse Guard is very rules light. And that leaves us at 3 and 6. You guys are in the lead. Next volley. So this is so Aegis already has the last action of this volley because After everybody goes, we hop back into that order of mice. So
don't we still have Freddie and?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're going first though. So Freddie and
Oh,
Anna,
okay, never
which one
mind.
of you wants to go first?
I'm happy to go first unless you have another idea.
I don't care.
Okay. Well, I was thinking, I really, Jasper doesn't know how to deal with this other than hitting something. So I think that Jasper is going to try to place himself where the whistle pig is going to burrow next, and just be there to like make a really bad just like you're burrowing, you're biting into a cheeseburger and suddenly there's a pebble. Just have his halberd out so that hopefully she'll prick herself on it.
Okay.
And know that that's not a good place
sounds
to
like
be.
a feint, like you're trying to take her off guard.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and say that. What do you want to do, Anna?
So I was wondering, since I have my highest score in Insectress, and she seems to like to eat crickets, is there any way that I could like find a cricket and make it like run away or something? I don't know.
So you want to maybe like collect bugs and try to like encourage her to be like, look, you need food.
Yeah.
Not just like a home. You need food. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
like
also
that.
have survivalist, and you said laborer, so I can try something else, but I just have the highest score in Insectress with the 5.
Actually,
I
I
like
think that's a good attack because you're trying to like divert it. That's like straight up diversion.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead and decide what Aegis is going to do after that. What do you want to do, Aegis?
Oh, so can I use science again? Or
Yes.
I'm just wondering. I'm trying to figure out what else I could use here. Because you had said it was survival, science. What were the other ones?
Survivalist, science, lore mouse, and hunter.
I could use
Those are the main
hunter.
ones. Laborer as well.
So I could use hunter, I would imagine.
Okay, to do what?
To do another fate. What I would like to do is, using my knowledge of the woods and traps and all of that good stuff, make an area of the woods near Willowroot seem too threatening to go near.
Okay.
Yes. To create like predator sign or something.
Okay, that's really interesting. So
Yes.
you're gonna try to
So
convince that there's
smart.
a predator out there. All right.
Yes.
So we're going feint, attack, feint. All right, let's begin. It is also a feinting on its first action. So
Fate versus fate.
feint versus feint, they just collide heads. They just bash each other in a very wild manner. It actually has +1 to this because of its maneuver, and you have -2 because of the 2 successes that will spend to turn your hunter down a little bit.
Okay, so I'm rolling 2 total.
Yes, and it is rolling 6.
Oh, this will go well.
Yeah, this is going to go severely well.
This is fine.
3
Only
successes.
3 though.
Literally
Yeah.
impossible.
So it's 3-3 right now.
Oh,
Okay. 1 success. It's still good. 2 to 3. 2 to 3. All right, let's keep going. Anna, you were attacking, right?
I guess it's technically if that's an attack by diverting it.
Yeah. It's fainting.
Okay,
So
And
you
I
get the full-on attack. It did not roll or defend itself.
So-
here, yeah, go ahead.
I
What
was
do you-
thinking with Insectress, would I be able to use those 5? Could I include anything else? Like I'm compassionate in one of my
Traits?
Yeah, one of my
That's
traits.
perfect. You want to use a +1 for that?
Yeah, so it can like, and I don't want to hurt it. I don't want to get these people hurt. So like,
Yeah.
look at that cricket thing.
you start digging for worms or something like that.
Yes, the grubs, worms, whatever they eat.
Perfect.
So I could
Okay.
do 5 + 1, so 66.
6d6. That sounds doable. Oh. And there it is.
Sorry I did this all at the same time. Mine wouldn't let me do all 6 at once.
No, that's totally fine. Because you got 3 successes in total.
Okay.
You just barely get through that marvelous last moment of diverting its attention away from just, I'm gonna go to Willowroot for the perfect. I feel like this is Lucy from I Love Lucy, and she's just like oblivious to the fact that she'll destroy the mouse.
Yeah.
And a lot of you swoop in to turn her attention away from this lie, this beautiful lie that she is being drawn in by. And here's how I want to sort of take this. Jasper, you are ready to sort of like pinprick her to sort of like divert her attention from like, going in a direction you don't want her to. And she kind of took you off guard. You fall into the hole after she like hops out of it, and you just fall straight in.
Not again.
Yeah, exactly. And that is when she notices Anna. Oh, no, not Anna. Meadowhawk. Go ahead and give me the final decisive scene.
Me?
That turns the hedgehog, the whistle pig's attention towards you and away from Willowroot.
Okay, so when I was reading about Insectress, it said something like you can kind of not control insects, but you can kind of like interact with them to where you can kind of get them to do what you want. And I think that I want a herd of crickets, if that's possible. That just like.
Oh my gosh! So this is so cool. What if you got like a grass piece and you started like, started making the noise, and
they come running.
Yeah, and all of you witness as a cacophony of crickets, both through sound and through their presence, their hopping presence. Do you say anything?
Sorry for sacrificing you.
Okay. And the whistle pig diverts its attention and begins to collect and like sort of num a few of the crickets and is like, shouldn't go to Willowroot because there's crunchies here. There's crunchies here. I shouldn't go to the tree. Husband should come to me. And she does a scream amidst the feast that has been brought to her. And that ends the conflict.
Yay!
But you guys took half of your disposition, so you win, but you win at a cost. I'm going to make each of you hungry and thirsty. Jasper, I'm gonna make you tired.
I've fallen into a second hole.
Yes, as well as hungry and thirsty.
All right, hungry.
So you get 2 conditions.
Thirsty. So -1 disposition on any compliment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna eat good feast after this.
That is the GM's turn. I'm done.
Yay!
It's your turn now. So each of you gets an opportunity to say what happens next in this story.
You told me I could have a bug friend. I didn't forget.
That's right. Okay. So do you want to befriend one of these crickets?
No, here we go. Okay, so IRL, I raise praying mantids, exotic praying mantids. So if I could find a praying mantis somewhere in this world and have it as a friend that I could like ride on its back, because some of them get this big, and a mouse can be like this big. So
this is going to be dangerous.
That's what I want.
But I'm a fan of it. So this is going to be Insectress. It's pretty against nature.
I was really excited when I saw the rules to this game that you could like do bug stuff, because that's what I'm.
It's so cool. Okay, so
That's
once you
to like raise too, like in real life.
Yeah, they're awesome.
So this is going to be this is obstacle 5. I'm going to say this is obstacle 5.
Okay.
So here's what I think you should do. You have a persona point left over, right?
Yes.
What is your nature?
4.
4. If you spend a persona point, you can add your nature to your insectress roll.
9.
Does anybody have any helping dice if you want to get involved with the praying mantis?
Survivalist?
Survivalist? I don't think so.
That's all I got.
I have. I feel like I could either do hunter to help find the praying mantis, or scientist to help study the most efficient way in which to break and ride the praying mantis.
Now, scientist I will allow because insectress is there for insects. Hunter is not insects.
Okay.
So scientist, because this is a praying mantis, they can be, big deadly trouble for mice.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have one on your affectionate, like, oh, it's my manty, that's amazing. People are gonna respect you, especially as a tender paw.
Yes.
Aegis, do you want your tender paw to do this?
I absolutely think if my tender paw can pull this off, it will show great credit upon her and our party. Yes, I think it would be smart. Yeah.
So,
The
7.
praying mantis.
What was that? 4 dice, 9, 10 dice, and you need 5 successes.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
I'm not done yet.
And D6.
1, 2,
3,
5.
4, 5. Yes.
Just enough. Just enough. What color is it?
Oh, I want it to be an Idolamantis diabolica, which is a devil's flower mantis, and it's got like this crazy huge like crest, and it's purple and green, and yeah.
You're loving this. Oh
I
my
have one, and they're awesome.
So here's what I'm going to say. You have prepared for this. One night before you guys got to Willowroot, you were like, I need to take some time to get this thing. Because I don't think you just, after the gopher fight, you were like, oh, look what I found.
Yeah.
No, I think you've been like secretly trying to like make it your respected friend.
Mm-hmm.
And it is like, it is keen about you. It is not keen about these mice. And I feel as though you are going to be able to roll around with it.
I think that if I like let it, I just walk beside it most of the time, and I would only ride it if I needed to fly or flee. So.
Does it have like a leash?
No, I don't want to do that. I think that we'd have more of a friendship bond where, like people walk their dogs without leashes because they know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It just knows. There's like a respect there. Okay, I love that. Wonderful use for your player's turn.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me do that.
That's so cool. I'm a fan. It makes for fun insectress checks in the future of Meadowhawk. And also, what Tenderpaw comes back to Lockhaven to report in with the praying mantis? Voila.
Literally the most badass.
Yeah, I'm proud of that. Beautiful.
I think she'll get a promotion immediately.
Yes.
One of them's gonna be like, oh.
There's a new cavalry for the mouse guard.
The mantis cavalry.
The mantis
Yes!
cavalry.
They can like use their forearms to like while you ride them.
Awesome.
I think about this
Awesome.
a lot.
Okay.
It's amazing.
That's incredible. I love mouse guard for stuff like this. What do the rest of you want to do? Can you
I
top
want to
that?
make sure that Jasper is okay.
Okay, Jasper, you're tired and you're hungry. And you're covered in dirt. And you're all muddy.
I've fallen into holes bigger than this one. But I think I need a nap.
We'll get a nap after this, and possibly a feast. I'm starving.
Oh yes, wasn't there supposed to be a festival? I could really do for some funnel cake or something.
Oh, yeah, funnel cake would be the
Jeez.
best.
Terrifully easy. So if you want to like go to the festival and like get enough food and drink to get your people all powered up You can spend a resources check. It's going to be like for everybody, it'll just be an obstacle 2 to get rid of everybody's hungry and thirsty with a resources check.
Do we have like food and rations on us, or did we run out of those?
I think you could, but you have to remember that conditions are sort of like these overbearing like problems for your characters. Like, unless you spend a player's turn check to get rid of it, you can never eat enough to be hungry or drink enough to be not thirsty. Like you can say it's sort of like traits. Like, I think conditions become like traits. You can be a generous mouse without having it be a trait, but if you are a generous mouse, like that shows. So if Jasper, if you want to like maybe if you want to spend resources to buy everybody funnel cakes, I'll certainly allow it. But it's going to be obstacle 2, and everybody will get rid of their hunger and thirsty. In fact, Elsewin will spot you +1 because he's quite impressed of what you've done.
I think we should patronize this festival and show the town that we mean well and eat lots and lots of funnel cake.
Funnel cake!
Indeed.
You deserve it.
All right. So with a recovery check, just go ahead and roll resources +1. It's right around near your circles. Do you have any... Wait, you've already used all your traits.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Roll +1, and we'll see if...
Resources +1?
Yep.
All right.
Let's see.
2 successes!
And they're both 6s. Not bad.
Nicely done.
Yay!
All right. So you guys find that Musfire is a splendid art of cuisine for the most part. It is in celebration, so people spoil themselves. There's all sorts of cider and blueberry wine and all sorts of other delicious Redwall goodness that is available to you. So by all means, stuff your faces, fill your mugs, and get rid of that hungry and thirsty condition.
Yay!
And I think you and Elsewin are sort of have a little camaraderie. You're a patrol guard, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he is too. And he's a grumpy one that probably has been brought low by the just sort of the terms and the pushing. He thinks he gets pushed around by the settlements, honestly. And he'll sort of like tell you this, like, well, they don't respect the guard. They don't see what we do every day. They think
Putting our lives at risk for no good reason.
Yes, and you're a veteran.
Well, yes.
Sure,
I guess I'm spoiled. I guess I'm spoiled with Pebblebrook, considering we were so close to the Weasel War. We take these matters more seriously than we possibly should.
Well, it is for good reason. You've been through quite a lot.
As have you lot. I was interested to see what exactly a group like yours could do. And I think in my long-standing years of service as a lone patrol guard for Gwendolyn, I forgot what a true Mouse Guard patrol could do.
I prefer to be on my own, but it is very inspiring these past few days to watch our very strong little Tenderpaw fend for herself. She has a great promise.
All right. He quirks an eyebrow at you and says,
By yourself? Is it really what you want?
and he turns towards the stage where Citria is getting ready to deliver her song.
Oh, good. I hope I don't fall asleep during this.
Her voice cracks so bad.
Oh, no.
She could mumble sing really good. But like she belts out like
Oh, honey.
And I will always love you.
I applaud politely.
Good. Good. There are a lot of singers, and it is just a downright fun festival. I should say there are plenty of other individuals that step up and deliver their own performance. Some of them dance with their partners. Others deliver stories and other various proud moments in the past, festivals, and others just say, "Look at this cool painting I made." It's just a very nice, delightful time for everybody. I should say, let's see. I don't know. What else do you guys want to do?
Well,
We got three more players checks.
yes. I have something I would like to do.
What is that?
Since I was a very young mouse, I have kept a journal. A few years ago, I started turning it into a memoir. Knowing that being an older gray hair, my time of retirement was coming soon, I wanted to leave a legacy to those god mouse that came after me. I feel like, having seen what I've seen out of Willow and then out of Meadowhawk, that I have done a good thing, and that perhaps it is time for me to lay down my cloak. So, while the festival is going on, I sit and I finish the last few chapters of my memoir of being a god mouse.
I want you to roll administrator
I do
see
not
if-
have that skill.
to see if you need to send this to an editor.
Okay, I will definitely need to send this to an editor.
I'm gonna say, because it's your memoirs, like, it's only gonna be like, what's your will?
4.
4? I honestly, I'm gonna say this is only gonna be obstacle 2.
Okay, so should I just roll my will, or?
Roll half your will.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing.
Hmm.
Do you have any traits that you can spend?
I do.
Actually, this is archivist. Forgive me.
Okay, I don't have that either, but I do have rational left to
I
spend.
will allow you to use rational for this. So this is
Okay.
archivist.
Okay.
You could ask for help.
I don't feel like I would for this. I feel like this is too personal, and while I would be publishing it, I would like my recollections to be my own. Yeah.
All right. Then roll.
So it'll be 2 will, plus what does the trait give me?
+1.
+1, so 3, and I have an obstacle 2.
Mhm.
This will probably need to go to an editor.
Well, you've got persona points and fate points as well.
Oh, I do. I have a second fate point. I think I would like to spend that fate point.
And that can only be used after your roll.
Oh, after. Oh, yeah, that's right. And what does persona point do?
Persona points add either 1 per persona point to your roll. You can add your entire nature, and if it is not mousy, you reduce your nature by 1.
What does that
or
mean
you
if
can
it's not mousy again?
If it's not mousy, you can still add your nature, but your nature goes down by 1.
And now mousy is like burrowing and
Oh, okay.
foraging.
Climbing, foraging.
All right, I will spend the persona point to
Okay.
add to my nature and reduce my nature by 1.
Very well.
I feel like this is important.
Less of a mouse and more of an old fur.
Yes. So that will
Sort
be
of what this stands for.
yes, which makes sense, really.
Aye.
Beesh.
Out of the park. Generations will consider how you ended up here. And they will wonder, what will they wonder? No one
What will
knows. Only that you served honorably, and you left in your wake tender paws who know what the guard stands for and what it means to wear the cloak.
It is a
So
good legacy.
in the dim light of the roaring pyre that is safely away from the tree, you inscript the final pages. And you are not made tired, which is what I would have done. So you're able to enjoy the festival even though you spent all this time doing that. So there. Yes. Do you pull a Bilbo Baggins?
Oh, and go for another adventure.
And go
perhaps.
for Rivendell? No.
I may start to fade and go into the west. I do not know yet.
Interesting. Okay. What about Cedar and a Willow? What do you two want to do with your players' checks?
Willow feels bad because she didn't quite talk to the whistle pig as well as she thought she would. She feels like she let down her patrol, so now she feels this need to find out who was making the whistle pig noise.
Okay.
I was just gonna say the same thing. I was gonna figure out who made that whistle pig noise.
All right. How do you want to do that? I will say you could try to pin down if someone in the festival was doing it with a circles check or some sort of check. How do you want to find them? Are the two of you we have to find out?
Yeah, we want to find out. We're gonna work together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tell me how you do this.
Let's see. I don't have a very good circles.
I got a circle of 2.
Okay.
Okay.
And I
What other skills do you have?
I have survivalist. I have scout.
You also have haggler.
I do have haggler. Yeah, I have haggler.
Yeah.
And I'm also deciding that I want to use a trait on this.
Ooh, which one?
I'm gonna use the determined trait.
This sounds like a determined. Okay. I'm gonna say this. I will let you use haggler to try to pin down if anyone in town in this merchant place is selling flutes or animal collars or anything like that. That sounds like a good way to do this.
Okay.
So you have 3 dice. Let me see, haggler. Do you get any helping dice? Abby, do you have anything that can help?
I'm not actually sure that I do unless persuader if somebody's hesitant to give us information but
I would say yeah, that would help.
okay.
That would help. Okay, and this is a versus test.
Okay. So it would be a 4d6 then?
It would. Okay, I got 2 successes.
I have 2 as well.
Do you have a persona point?
I do.
What is your wise?
My wise? It's mouse guard wise.
That has bad implications. If you want, you can burn your persona point, re-roll those last 2 dice that were failures, and try to succeed.
I'll do just that.
All right?
Just roll 2d6.
And then we will see how your mouse guard wise comes into play, fail or success.
What a successes!
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay, so firstly, does any I don't know if I should try to ask this.
I probably won't have the answer to that.
You know what? There was something suspicious that you realize probably. So here's what you ascertain. You ascertain that everybody has sort of an idea on what to expect from the Mouse Guard when they come into Willowroot. They sort of don't like being bossed around by the Mouse Guard, but since Elsewin came in, you notice that every merchant here has sort of been grilled by him, except for some of the woodcarvers. The woodcarvers he kind of got along with. He bought some supplies from them and sort of whittled with them for a long while. And you notice that they did get business from him, and he has what looks like a whittled flute that was on his person when you guys first saw him and as you left, but you don't see it now. In fact, you didn't see a lot of him during the whole gopher incident.
I will be it's now my turn to interrogate him.
Okay.
I will be asking him about the flute.
Abby, is your character here as well?
Oh yeah. Oh
Alright.
yes.
Time to interrogate Jerkface. Is this the new? Is this the new hashtag Team Jerkface?
Fucking.
All right.
Hashtag Team Jerkface 2.0.
All right. You approach him, and Elsewin is enjoying crisp brew. Turns to you, the two of you, and says, I think Jasper is doing his own thing, right? Or are you here as well?
Well, I was speaking to him.
You were speaking to him. So you come to him and Jasper, who are speaking rather like jovially. They seem to have like a mutual something there.
We're exchanging old war stories.
Oh, of course. And he sort of raises a glass to you two. Says,
Hope you're enjoying the festival. Was it worth it?
It's very fun. I'm having such a good time, but I do have a question. There's something that I'm kind of curious about, aren't I, Abby? I mean, Willow? Blech. Sorry.
No, you're totally fine. I get mistaken for Abby all the time. It's fine.
No, for sure. I was just wondering. I noticed that you had this really, really nice flute. I'm a little bit of a musician myself. Do you happen to have it? I just wanted to look at it. I'm very interested in, music and stuff like that.
he nods and he says,
Well, it's only a pastime that I do to fill the gaps of time when I'm spent alone, patrolling and such.
Huh?
Then why don't you play it for us?
Went ahead and let it fade off like most of the things I whittle to some of the kids running around here.
Where's the flute?
Gave it to one of the munchkins.
See, I'm a little bit curious. So it seems that this town, which you have come to, of course, has been running itself very good, and seems like the townspeople before now have had a pretty fair dealings with the Mouse Guard. And then all of a sudden, you came into town, which is very interesting, and all of a sudden you're interrogating all of the craftsmen, except for the
wood carving, grid carvers.
And
Am I
plus,
correct?
it seems suspicious that you don't have your flute now, and we didn't see you very much during the whole Whistle Pig incident. And I start to think, what use would you have in having a Whistle Pig destroy the underground workings of this town?
he sort of leans back in his chair and crosses his arms, looks to Jasper and says,
I don't like what these two are saying. Do they usually do this sort of thing?
You're implying quite a lot, friends. But I do wonder, and I'm sure there's a good explanation, for why Elsewin didn't join in when we were fighting the Whistle Pig.
Or in fact, where were you? I didn't see you at all.
Yeah, me neither.
I kept a safe distance just in case it did get to Willowroot, just in case we need to evacuate folks. But I also wanted to be sure you lot weren't in any intense danger.
If that were the case, you would have helped us.
Or I would have just abandoned you entirely and evacuated.
Can I use an archivist check to... I don't know if he comes from, what was it? What town did he come from?
Pebblebrook.
Pebblebrook? Does Pebblebrook and what is it? Willow Grove or whatever.
Willowroot. Willowroot.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
Willow Mouse. Willow Guard.
Willow something. But no, do either the towns have an animosity for each other, or is there anything that I could think of, any reason why this specific mouse with his history that I know would want to do this too?
Here's what I think. You can try to build a case with Archivist in order to indict him. I don't know, depending on how many successes you get, you might have enough to possibly try to indict him on the spot. But here's the thing, he's kind of challenging you guys, saying like, you're just bothering me right now, you're just conjecturing. What you could do is you could spend an archivist role to make a long-term investment in trying to pin down a case.
That's probably what I would do. Or even if I can't have a case, I just want to get to the bottom of this, because he seems pretty adamant that he's...
Oh, well, he could be more insulted. He could, in fact, be rather bereft and just bring ages in to shut this down.
Trying to assist with the persuasion?
Right now, yes, you can. Persuasion is good. So here's what I think is going to happen. Roll Archivist.
Okay.
It will represent if you're able to get evidence between his animosity between Pebblebrook and Willowroot.
Okay.
And if he has any reason to basically be brought under serious charges, because this sounds like an investigation that has to happen in Lockhaven.
Yeah.
Unless you want to drag him out in one of the gopher holes and just deliver your own sense of justice.
Nah, thank you.
Jasper's already good at falling in holes, so.
That's true. Yeah, I'm gonna use my last trait, Inquisitive, to help me out.
Ooh, that is delicious.
So I've got 5.
Jasper, do you want to help?
Could I help just by nature of the fact that I've been hanging out with him the whole party?
Yes.
And I know a bit of his history now. And his
he thinks these are two like young conspiracy theory upstarts. He doesn't think you're in their like midst. He knows you're in their patrol, but he thinks you have like better loyalties than to them, especially if they're throwing around this sort of talk.
And do I get the sense that he's being genuine in that?
From one patrol guard to another, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got 6 altogether. Seriously?
Wow. That was impressively bad. That was
Abby, why?
the level worst. Yeah.
Okay.
1.
Do you happen to have a persona point?
I've got 2 fate points and a persona point.
How the fuck are you going to make Birdwise fucking stick to this?
I can't. I could probably think of something really stupid and not, but...
No, but go ahead. I'm all ears.
No, it's.
All ears.
Do you seriously want me to try? Because I can come up with, I can come up with some ass backwards way of.
I'm ready. What better way to close off the story?
The conspiracy time, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna say-
never gonna figure this out now. We're never gonna figure this out.
You could burn. No. I don't know. No, there's a mockingbird recording his every conversation the entire time.
Guys, you guys, I think that the birds, they're mad because they might have used to live in Willowbrook, in the willow. And now, since the mice took over the tree, they're controlling him. I think it's some kind of like brain. Like, birds have special powers, you guys. You don't even understand. Like, birds are smarter than you think. And like, I think that's what's going on.
You know something's here. You know this
Birds.
is suspicious, but don't think you have enough to pin him down.
There's no way.
The only way you can, the only thing you really think you can do is tell Ages, tell your patrol, tell Meadow, and then make a report back to Gwendolyn, and pray it catches her interest with that one measly success for her to order a bigger investigation.
The birds.
But really, is it that bad? Because you're looking around this festival right now, and in the flickering light of the celebratory pyre, these people are unaware and, in fact, practically delighted, looking forward to the harvest season. Because here at Willowroot, they don't see and think and believe in any maliciousness at the whistles in the distance.
Or ignorant mice.
Is where this story ends, I believe.
So just as the story ends, we are now at $2,000 thanks to Captain Shea Cross.
Well done.
Thank you.
That's
Yes.
perfect timing.
And
Yay. Yay.
Whereas my
Yay!
whistles go.
No, just going da da da.
I'm tweeting.
well done, everybody. Well done. That was Mouse Guard. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and I hope everybody got what they wanted out of it.
I thought it was incredibly fun.
Oh my goodness!
It's a very, very good first experience for this noob, so thank you very much.
Yes.
I'm so glad.
Oh man, I'm so glad you went for that, Mantis. That makes me so pleased. Well done. I'm so.
I currently have 10.
That's awesome.
Now, okay, I feel
And
like
more money.
I feel like, okay, I'm a horse groom, so for some reason, I'm a little scared for you because you have 10 of them, and I'm instinctually a little like, oh, I just like looking at bugs. I don't want to touch them.
Oh,
but
I
they're
mean,
so
like-
cool.
You mean my character or me?
No, like you and your character. Like,
Oh,
for one, you're a mouse. The mantis
she has one.
is like, but you're a mouse.
Well, Meadowhawk has one. Anna has 10.
Okay, so what really inspired you to devote yourself to getting these mantises? I'm curious.
I have been interested in insects since I was a kid, so it's just something that I've always studied and collected. But a couple years ago, I got into photography. Well, 10 years ago, it's not a couple, but I got into photographing insects like a couple of years ago. And then I was like, why don't I just have my own and raise them? And they're really cool, and they live for like a year, and they molt and they change, and it's really cool.
Yeah, they're very beautiful.
Yeah, and they're really gentle and like fun, but it's also fun to watch them hunt. Like you give them a fly and they like devour it. It's really cool.
Oh, it's so cool.
So pleased. I accidentally hit my stop video button instead of.
I
you.
noticed. So now we're not in the right order, but that's
So
okay.
like, I kind of think that's wonderful because you kind of went through a phase I did, but I was more typical with horses because I played with my sister's Barbie horses.
I love horses. If I could have horses, that's literally my dream life is like live with horses.
Well, just go to SCAD University and get a job as a horse groom like I did. And then I can have 70 horses.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
His job is
that's my job. I am a horse groom for the top horseback riding team nationally. I think they're really top. I think I'm proud of my students.
So cool.
we have, like, man, when school starts with all the horses coming back from their border homes, it gets pretty wild. Yeah, I walked. Oh my god, I walked probably like 40 horses today alone. Yeah.
You guys follow his Twitter because he'll post.
I'm going to.
He posts videos.
Yeah, I need to post more videos and more pictures than I have them on my phone, but I haven't posted them because I'm just like, who's interested in horses?
I
get the magazine
from afar.
Oh my gosh, there's so many cool magazines.
I have Horse Magazine, yeah.
Warmbloods is the one that I follow the most.
Oh, cool.
And this is so great. I'm glad that we stopped talking about role-playing games and the $2,000 mark. I'm super happy, guys. Well done. We've done good work here.
That was cool.
Mouse Guard is a game I encourage everyone to play, particularly because it is a game all about tackling seemingly titanic both audio and lightning storm issues. As well as it's just a very well designed thematic game about tackling titanic problems that look impossible and seem impossible, but just as we have demonstrated, and just as you can see by running it yourself, it can be rather inspiring. And I think inspiring games like that makes for a good show and good express delight for those of you who want to see a delightful change that will give you a positive message, because I think that's what Trans Lifeline does.
And I really appreciate games where the central premise is working against adversity, and like not only is it
also working together. Yeah.
Yes, and like not only is it good escapism, but it's good inspiration for that kind of thing in life. So.
Indeed, because as diverse as not just like the queer community, but like role-playing games in general, I think it's nice that we can all unite under a red Wally banner.
Yeah.
And to find ways to tell stories like these that can help people for this good cause. I think it's marvelous. I'm super proud of Welcome to the Party for doing it.
Yeah, I'm very honored that I was able to be part of this. So thank you. Thanks for including me, and I'm super touched that this charity was chosen.
Oh. Man, this is great. I had fun, guys. Throck, what else do you want to talk about? This was what, your third time playing Mouse Guard? Second time?
Second time playing Mouse Guard.
Second time. Interesting.
Yeah.
You went for an old timer this time instead of a ferret.
Abby gave me the character, but it was poignant. I wasn't going to share this on stream. But by the end of the game, I realized something. What? A single Bumblebee just donated $99 to Trans Lifeline. That is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bumblebee.
I found out on Thursday that I was losing my job. And so one of the ways that I've kind of this stream and the positivity of it and the amazing work that we've done has helped me kind of deal with and work through that. And being able to tell that story about Ages at the end, where he was putting the period to the end of his story, was just like a very therapeutic moment for me. And I wasn't going to play in this game because I'm exhausted, but it was amazing, and we've crossed the $2,000 mark, and it's been incredibly affirming to know that there are supportive and amazing human beings out there who believe in the message of mental health and trans visibility and queer visibility and the ability to make simple donations that can make a big difference in people's lives. And it's a big deal to me right now. And so I'm so glad this has worked out as well as it has.
So we got a long way to go.
All I can do is just do this. That's all I can do.
Just pet the camera.
Pet the camera.
Yay,
That's
camera.
all I ate this.
And give you, by the way,
Praying mantises!
little arms. These little arms. Man, Throck, you did such a good job here. I'm so proud of you.
Everyone give a round of applause if you
Yeah.
can.
No, seriously.
What?
Yeah.
Let's see. I need to pick my emotes carefully.
No problem.
Oh.
Let's see.
Everyone give him hearts and applauses.
You don't have to
Yeah,
give
I'll
me
give you-
nothing. You should give
There
money
you
to
go.
Trans
Such a good
Lifeline. That's what you
job.
need to do.
He
Hey,
does such a
anonymous mouse. Who is that anonymous mouse who did
I
25?
wonder,
I have no idea who that anonymous
Who?
mouth is.
would that be?
Yeah.
Yes, everyone hype up. Isn't Throck doing such an amazing job with this? He's raising $2,000 and he is an amazing person. So everyone give him
Super
hearts.
stoked,
We do
guys.
appreciate everything you do for us.
No, seriously, like, welcome to the
dude.
party. Like, this whole channel, especially, like, I feel like myself and the majority of my friends, like, not only, like, personally, but this week also just, like, politically has been super tough. And it's just, it's amazing to be able to come here and see people, one, enjoying role playing, two, supporting such an amazing cause, and three, most of the donations, you guys, it's not like people donating like hundreds of bucks. It's people like us who have like $10, $20, something, and all of
$5
these
even.
people just like pouring together and being so supportive and giving what little they can. It's seriously, you guys are awesome. It's super inspiring, and I'm so honored to be a part of this.
And unfortunately, because of the way our society is, it can sometimes be very expensive to be trans. And you shouldn't have to be rich in order to just be who you are and to take those steps to be safer and whatever you need to do. So it's very, very important, even the small amounts.
No, for sure. It's just, you guys are awesome.
Like, do you know how long I had to be on stream to put on a stupid flower on my head because I was like, that's scary. I don't like being public about
Here's
that.
another thing that I
Flowers
love.
are so pretty on you. It looks good on you.
Yeah, like
No
you
one's
guys saw me
been
putting
telling
on makeup. I didn't know how to put this on like 6 months ago. I would
I would have taught you how to do that. I would
Thank
have
you.
taught you.
It's just finding ways not only to just like express ourselves, no matter how we identify our gender or our species. Because
who
I
we
like
are.
I like my mice to identify themselves as whatever they prefer.
Mhm.
This is a part of the reason I love role-playing games, especially the ones where we involve, character development and drama and relationships. This is a great way to experiment with our own identities, even if it doesn't play a part in our real life. It can really inform the way that we see ourselves, and it's sometimes really amazing.
Anna, I need to know, does
praying
mantis have a
I want to see the praying mantis too. Yeah.
Oh no, you muted.
You are muted.
This one I just got, so I haven't named it yet because I like to name them once I know they're not going to die,
Yeah.
Because sometimes they die, and I've had 2 of these before. This is an Idolamantis diabolica. It's one of the coolest species. I would suggest Googling it. This is a baby. This is like, I think, an L2, maybe L3, which means it's only shed or molted once.
Oh, the birds
They're super cute. They're really fun pets, but yeah, usually I name them after like characters in books and
It's amazing.
fantasy novels.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're really fun and they're really
Also,
sweet.
Megan, thank you for the $1.
That's so cute.
I don't know if I got
I
it.
never thought I would see one in a Mouse Guard game. I'm so glad you brought them to it. Now I want.
I'll be honest, everyone who knows me knows that I will insert insects in any possible way that I can into any game. I can't help it. They're just so fun.
Insectress, like, I'm so glad you found Insectress in this game then. That's so good.
There, it's kind of clear. It's kind of clear. You can kind of see it.
Yeah, you can totally see it.
The little baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
So cute.
Look
All
at
right.
the creating bugs.
We have one last piece of business before we have to go to break, and that is our turn of the game giveaway. And I want to make sure we stay on target because we have some big stuff starting at 8 o'clock, so everything kind of has to fall together from here on forward. Michi, thank you for the $5 to Trans Lifeline. We are doing a giveaway right now, 2 of them, in fact. One for a t-shirt to Sew Nerdwear. Which is Maddie. You guys all know So Maddie Plays, or if you don't, you should follow him. He's great. And the second is a $25 gift certificate to our amazing sponsor, Devin Rue. So if you want to be a part of this giveaway, you should type !unsolved in chat.
Oh, really?
Just rubbing salt in those wounds.
What are you talking about? It was totally solved. I'm telling you, those birds are out to get us. They've got mind powers, man.
Oh, young mouse, such imaginations.
And with that, we're going to go to break. Thank you guys so much. One quick thing I'll say is Trans Lifeline is dedicated to providing microgrants to folks going through transition and has a crisis line that is a peer-staffed crisis line. It's staffed by members of the trans community, for members of the trans community. So it focuses both on the transition and the mental health aspect. And we think knowing that we can send our money to something that makes a real difference in people's lives is incredibly important. So if you have a moment, hit that donate button for $1, $5, $1,000. I don't know. Maybe you're rich. I don't know. And help us support this amazing cause. And with that, we're going to be out. Boop.
Bye.